Hi everyone, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. I'm really happy you're here. Tonight, we're going to go on a calm and quiet trip to learn something amazing. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy this peaceful science story together. Before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it for you right now? If you like relaxing science videos, don't forget to tap the like button. Now let's begin. This link between electricity and thought also explains how memories are formed. When you experience something, your brain processes the event by forming new electrical connections. These connections, or memories, are stored in different areas of the brain and are triggered by subsequent electrical impulses. The more vivid and meaningful the experience, the stronger the electrical connections become, making it easier to recall the memory. But even memories are subject to the flow of electricity. As you age or experience trauma, the electrical signals in your brain can change, sometimes leading to memory loss or difficulty recalling certain events. However, like the neurons that adapt and find new pathways, your brain can also reorganize itself, creating new connections to help restore lost memories or form new ones. The electricity that flows through your brain is not just about thinking. It is about being, about living, about experiencing the world. It connects the mind to the body, allowing you to process and respond to the world around you. The electricity inside you is what brings thought to life, turning abstract ideas into actions, feelings into expressions, and experiences into memories. It is the very energy that powers your awareness, your perceptions, and your understanding of who you are. Without this flow of electricity, there would be no thought, no self, no sense of existence. As we reach the final part of our exploration into the electricity that flows through your body, we come to the most mysterious aspect of all: consciousness. The ability to be aware of yourself, to think, to feel, to experience the world. This is the result of the delicate and constant flow of electricity within your brain. It is the spark that makes you, you. Without this flow of electrical activity, you would not be able to recognize the world around you, nor would you be able to recognize your own thoughts, emotions, or actions. Consciousness is not something that can be seen, touched, or measured in the way we might touch a rock or measure the length of a tree. It is an invisible force, shaped entirely by the electricity inside your brain. Imagine the process of waking up in the morning. As you slowly become aware of your surroundings, the electrical impulses in your brain begin to move, lighting up certain regions, bringing your awareness into focus. In this quiet moment, when your eyes first open and the world slowly comes into view, the flow of electricity in your brain is like a soft, rising light. Your thoughts begin to stir, your senses start to engage, and the world begins to make sense again. Each thought, each feeling is a result of this electrical flow, this current of energy that courses through the vast network of neurons in your brain. This process is what creates your experience of consciousness, the ability to be aware of the present moment, to reflect on the past, and to imagine the future. Every decision you make, every action you take is a product of this flow of electricity as it sparks, moves, and creates new patterns in your mind. But what makes this electricity so extraordinary is its capacity to connect not just to the present, but to the very essence of who you are. It is through these electrical currents that you form a sense of self, a continuous thread of thoughts and memories that tie together your past, your present, and your future. The electricity of thought, when it flows freely and clearly, allows you to move through the world with clarity and purpose. It shapes the way you perceive things, the way you make sense of your experiences, and the way you engage with others. But consciousness is more than just a collection of thoughts. It is the deep underlying awareness of your existence, the quiet realization that you are here, that you are alive, and that you have the ability to shape your world. This awareness is powered by the same electricity that moves through your brain, a constant, ever-flowing current that brings your thoughts and actions to life. However, as with all electricity, there are moments when this flow is interrupted. Stress, illness, fatigue, or injury can disrupt the delicate balance of electrical activity in your brain, causing confusion, memory loss, or changes in consciousness. The clarity that once defined your sense of self may feel cloudy, as if the light within you is dimmed. But even in these moments of uncertainty, the electricity remains. Like a river that has been blocked, it will eventually find a new path, creating new connections, new pathways, and new possibilities for understanding. Just as the electrical signals in your brain create thoughts and memories, they also have the capacity to heal, to restore, and to reorganize, allowing you to regain clarity and self-awareness. In this way, consciousness is not static but dynamic, constantly shifting, evolving, and responding to the ever-changing flow of electricity in your brain. It is a process of continual renewal, of moments of clarity followed by moments of uncertainty, but always moving forward, always alive, always conscious. The electricity that flows through your brain is the light of your being, the force that illuminates your path, and the energy that connects you to the world around you. And just as the electricity of thought powers every part of you, so too does it give rise to the awareness of your existence, the light of consciousness that allows you to experience life fully. The electricity inside you is the very essence of life, a quiet but powerful force that enables you to be aware, to think, to feel, and to connect with the world. It is the current that powers every thought, every action, and every memory, shaping your experience of the world in ways you may never fully understand. It is a constant, invisible force flowing through you and around you, creating the very spark of life that makes you who you are. And in this current of electricity, in this light of consciousness, you are not just alive, you are aware of your own existence, a participant in the vast, interconnected dance of life. If you take a quiet moment to sit still, feeling the pulse of life running through your body, you might begin to notice something remarkable. Beneath your skin, inside your bones, there is a faint yet undeniable glow. It's not the kind of light you see with your eyes, but a gentle energy that hums softly within you. This glow, this quiet light, is the force that keeps your body alive, that powers each movement, that gives you the strength to stand, to walk, to breathe. It is a light that has always been inside you, even from the moment you were born, even before you had any awareness of it. It is the very essence of life flowing through your bones, reaching into every corner of your body, sustaining you in ways you may never fully understand. The light that lives in your bones is the result of countless tiny processes happening deep within your cells. Inside every bone, living cells are working tirelessly, renewing themselves, building new structures, and repairing any damage. These cells, called osteocytes, constantly send signals to one another, creating a network of communication that keeps your bones strong, flexible, and able to support your body. As these cells work, they rely on a constant flow of energy, which is produced by the very metabolism that keeps you alive. This flow of energy, a quiet electrical current, runs through your bones, creating a subtle, constant glow that sustains the life within you. But this light is not just the result of cellular activity, it is also a reflection of the deep underlying rhythms that govern your body, your environment, and the entire universe. Just as the stars burn brightly in the night sky, your bones burn with a quiet, steady energy. This light is connected to the cycles of the earth, to the shifting patterns of the sun, the moon, and the stars. It is a reminder that you, like the stars, are part of a larger cosmic dance, a delicate balance of light and energy that moves through every living thing. The glow inside your bones is a reflection of the very forces that govern the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, a light that has existed since the beginning of time and will continue to burn long after we are gone. As you sit feeling the pulse of life in your bones, you may wonder where this light comes from. It is not just the product of your body's internal process, it is the result of a much larger story. The atoms that make up your bones, like everything else in the universe, were formed in the heart of brilliant stars, long before our planet was born. The calcium and phosphorus that give your bones their strength were once part of the light of those stars, scattered across the universe when they exploded in a brilliant burst of energy. These atoms travelled through space and time, eventually becoming part of the Earth, and ultimately part of you. The light in your bones is a piece of that ancient starry fire, a remnant of the universe's own energy, passed down through billions of years, carried from star to planet, from dust to life. This light is not just a physical process. It is also a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Your bones, the very foundation of your body, are not isolated from the world around you. They are part of a larger cycle, one that links you to the earth, to the sun, to the stars. The energy that flows through your bones is the same energy that flows through the world, connecting all life in an eternal cycle. When you breathe in the air, when you drink water, when you eat food, you're taking in the same energy that powers the stars, the same energy that has been passed down from the beginning of time. Your bones, with their quiet glow, are a testament to the vastness of the universe, to the timeless flow of energy that connects everything. As you begin to understand the light that lives in your bones, you realize that this glow is not just something that sustains you. It is a symbol of your connection to everything around you. The light in your bones is the same light that burns in the stars, the same energy that flows through the plants, the animals, and the earth. It is a reminder that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it, a thread in the vast tapestry of life. This light, though small and quiet, is a powerful force, one that connects you to the ancient past, the present moment, and the endless future. As we look deeper into the light that lives in your bones, we begin to realize that it is not just a static force. This light, though gentle and ever-present, is also dynamic, always moving, shifting, and evolving. Just as the light of the stars flickers and dances across the vast sky, so too does the energy in your bones. It is a quiet, constant pulse, a rhythm that keeps your body alive, adapting to every change, to every movement. This energy flows in and out of your bones in a cycle of renewal and transformation, like the rhythm of the seasons or the ebb and flow of the tides. It is part of the great dance of life, a dance that is both ancient and timeless, unfolding with every breath you take, with every step you make. Within your bones, this energy is not just creating structure. It is creating movement, guiding every action you take. The light inside you powers your muscles, your joints, and your nerves, enabling you to move through the world. With each step, each gesture, the energy flows through your bones, sending signals to your muscles, directing the intricate dance of movement. But just as important is the stillness, the quiet moments when the light within you rests. Even in the moments of rest, the energy does not stop. It continues its subtle work, repairing, renewing, and strengthening, preparing you for the next moment of movement, of activity, of life. This dance of energy is not just the work of the bones themselves. It is part of the larger dance that connects every living thing. The energy that flows through your bones is the same energy that flows through the earth, through the air, through the water. It is the same energy that powers the plants as they stretch toward the sun, that drives the animals as they move through the world, that fuels the very heartbeat of the planet itself. Your bones are not separate from this dance. They are part of it. Every movement you make, every action you take ripples through the larger rhythm of life, contributing to the eternal flow of energy that connects all things. The energy in your bones is a constant reminder of the delicate balance of life. The bones themselves, though solid and strong, are not rigid. They are in constant motion, constantly being reshaped, strengthened and renewed by the energy that flows through them. The cells within your bones are constantly at work, building and breaking down bone tissue in a cycle of growth and repair. This process is not just the work of the body's internal systems, it is part of a larger rhythm, a dance that has been unfolding for millions of years, from the first life forms that crawled upon the earth to the beings that walk the planet today. Your bones, like the bones of every living creature, are shaped by this eternal dance of energy, a rhythm that connects all living things, past, present, and future. In this way, the light that lives in your bones is not just a personal force. It is a universal force, a part of the energy that flows through all life. It is a reminder that you are not an isolated being, but a part of something much larger, much older, much more enduring. Your bones are not just the structure that holds you up. They are the vessels that carry the energy of life, the spark of the universe itself. This energy flows through you, shaping you, guiding you, connecting you to the world around you. The light in your bones is a reflection of the very pulse of life, a quiet but powerful force that unites all living things, linking the smallest seed to the tallest tree, the smallest fish to the largest whale, the smallest thought to the most profound insight. And just as this energy flows through your bones, shaping and guiding your life, so too does it flow through the larger world. The energy of the earth itself moves in cycles, from the sun to the soil, from the plants to the animals, from the mountains to the oceans. It is a cycle that never ends, always moving, always renewing, always dancing. The light that lives in your bones is part of this great cycle, a spark of life in an ever-flowing river of energy. As you move through your days, as you breathe, as you live, you are part of this dance, part of the eternal rhythm that has shaped the earth and all its inhabitants. As we near the end of our exploration into the light that lives within your bones, we begin to understand that this light, though quiet, is not a passive force. It is a fire, one that burns gently yet steadily, providing you with the warmth and energy you need to live. This fire is not the kind you see in a hearth or a flame. It is the invisible internal flame that burns inside every cell of your body, from the tip of your fingers to the marrow of your bones. It is the fire that powers every cell in your body, that fuels your every action, your every breath, your every thought. The fire inside you is born from the food you eat, the air you breathe, and the energy you absorb from the world around you. When you consume food, your body breaks it down, turning the nutrients into energy, creating the very fuel your cells need to function. But this energy is not just stored away, it is used immediately, in a continual cycle of growth, repair and movement. The mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses of your cells, are constantly at work burning fuel to create energy. They are like tiny furnaces inside your body, converting the food and oxygen into a kind of fire that powers every function, from the beating of your heart to the thoughts in your mind. This fire, though it may seem like something separate from you, is deeply connected to every part of your being. It is not only the energy that drives your physical body, but also the energy that fuels your emotions, your creativity, and your awareness. Just as the fire inside a hearth can warm a room and create light in the darkness, so too does the fire within your bones illuminate your mind, bringing clarity and awareness to your thoughts. It is this light, this quiet energy that makes you aware of yourself, that allows you to move through the world with intention, that gives you the strength to face each new day. The fire within you is also connected to the natural world, to the cycle of life and death that plays out in the world around you. Just as fire burns and renews, so too does your body burn and renew itself. Every cell in your body is constantly being replaced, constantly being renewed. The bones themselves, though solid and unyielding, are in a constant state of change, with old bone tissue breaking down and new tissue forming in its place. This process, though it may go unnoticed, is essential to your survival. The fire within your bones is constantly regenerating, ensuring that you remain strong, adaptable, and resilient to the challenges of life. In many ways, the fire in your bones is a reflection of the greater forces at work in the world. The sun, which warms the earth and provides life, is itself a giant ball of burning energy, a fire that fuels the entire planet. The plants that reach toward the sun, the animals that roam the earth, and even the earth itself, all are powered by this great cosmic fire. And just as the sun fuels the growth of plants and the movement of animals, so too does the fire within you fuel your growth, your movement, your life. This connection to the fire of the universe, to the cosmic energy that flows through all things, is a reminder that you are part of something much larger than yourself. You are connected to the very forces that shape the world, the energy that moves through the stars, the earth, the oceans, and the plants, animals, and people that share this planet with you. But the fire within you is not just about energy or power. It is also about transformation. Just as fire can transform wood into ash, it can transform you. The energy within your bones is constantly shaping you, helping you grow, heal, and adapt to the world around you. Every injury you suffer, every wound you receive is met by the fire within you, which works tirelessly to heal and restore. This fire is the source of your resilience, your ability to face challenges and emerge stronger. It is the source of your strength, your vitality, and your ability to move through life with purpose. And, like all fire, the light within your bones is not meant to burn forever without care. It requires balance. Just as the earth requires the right amount of sunlight and warmth to thrive, so too do your cells require the right nourishment, rest, and care to sustain the fire within. When you nurture your body, when you care for it with rest, nutrition, and hydration, the fire inside you burns bright, sustaining you with warmth, energy, and life. And just as a fire in a hearth can grow dim when neglected, so too can the fire within you weaken if not cared for. But when tended to, when fueled with the right energy, the fire inside you burns steady and strong, lighting the way for your journey through life. So as you go about your day, feeling the quiet pulse of life in your bones, remember that the fire within you is not just a force that sustains you. It is a light that connects you to the universe, a spark of the same energy that burns in the stars, in the earth, and in every living thing. This light, this fire, is the very essence of life, a gentle, glowing force that has been with you since the moment you were born, and will continue to burn brightly within you for as long as you live. When you look up at the night sky, you may see a blanket of twinkling stars, scattered across the darkness like diamonds strewn across velvet. To the naked eye, they seem distant, serene, and timeless. But what you may not realize is that each of those stars carries within it a story of birth, of transformation, and of incredible energy. The light that fills the sky is not just a collection of twinkling points of light. It is a testimony to the vast, silent processes of creation unfolding across the universe. Each star, like a distant beacon, is born from the very heart of a nebula, a cloud of gas and dust that, over millions of years, collapses under its own weight, creating the conditions for a new star to form. Imagine, for a moment, the birth of a star. Far, far away in the depths of space, in a quiet corner of the universe, there is a cloud of gas, drifting lazily through the cosmos. This cloud, though it appears still and calm, is filled with potential energy, swirling with unseen currents. Over time, this gas begins to contract under its own gravity. As it pulls together, it becomes denser, and the pressure within the cloud rises. Slowly, the temperature begins to increase until the cloud reaches a point where it can no longer hold itself together. And in that moment, the gas ignites, like a spark that catches fire in the dark. The star is born, its light beginning to shine, illuminating the surrounding space. This is how stars are formed, not with an explosion of light at first, but with a quiet, patient gathering of energy, a slow dance of particles coming together in harmony. This process of star formation is a testament to the power of gravity and the slow, steady forces that shape the universe. Just as your bones are formed from the materials of the Earth, stars are formed from the very elements of the cosmos. The hydrogen gas that makes up the majority of the star's mass is the simplest element in the universe, but as the star grows, it begins to fuse atoms together, creating new, heavier elements like helium, carbon, and oxygen. These elements, born from the heat and pressure of the star's core, are the building blocks of everything else in the universe. The light from a star is not just light, it is the manifestation of this incredible transformation, the result of millions of years of compression and fusion, a quiet, powerful force that lights up the night sky. The birth of a star is not a singular event, but part of a larger cycle. Stars live for millions to billions of years, their light shining across the cosmos, guiding planets, and creating conditions for life. But just as stars are born, they also die. As a star ages, its fuel begins to run out. It expands, becoming a red giant, and the balance between gravity and the energy from fusion starts to shift. This causes the star to collapse in on itself, leading to a spectacular end, a supernova. When a star explodes in this way, it releases an enormous amount of energy, spreading elements across space, elements that will eventually form new stars, planets, and even life. In this way, the light from a star does not just illuminate the night sky, it shapes the future of the universe, creating the conditions for new generations of stars and planets to form. But even in death, the light of a star does not fade completely. The energy released in a supernova, the explosion of a dying star, can outshine an entire galaxy for a short time, sending ripples of light across the cosmos. This light travels through space, carrying with it the history of the star, the elements it created, and the story of its life and death. The light that fills the sky, then, is not just a reflection of what is happening in the present moment. It is a reflection of the past, of the stars that have come before, and of the forces that continue to shape the universe. It is the silent memory of countless stars, each one carrying its own story, its own light, its own energy. And just as the stars fill the night sky with their light, so too do they fill our hearts with wonder. When you look up at the stars, you are not simply seeing distant points of light, you are seeing the culmination of countless processes, forces, and events that have shaped the universe for billions of years. Each star is a testament to the quiet, slow, and powerful forces that govern the cosmos. The light that fills the sky is not just light, It is the echo of the universe's vast story, a reminder that we too are part of this larger dance of creation, transformation, and energy. As we delve deeper into the light that fills the sky, we begin to realize that the stars, though distant and far removed from our daily lives, are not simply objects suspended in the heavens. They are part of a vast, interconnected web of energy, each one pulsing with the rhythm of the universe itself. Just as your heart beats with a steady rhythm, the stars pulse with their own heartbeat, a quiet but powerful energy that stretches across time and space. This rhythm, this pulse, is what gives the universe its shape, its flow, and its incredible beauty. When a star is born, it begins a process of steady, constant fusion, creating light and heat from the simplest elements. This fusion process is not random. It is a steady pulse of energy that radiates outward, lighting up the cosmos. The star's pulse is steady and unyielding, driven by the forces of gravity and fusion. It is a rhythm that persists for millions or even billions of years, maintaining the delicate balance that allows the star to shine. In this way, each star is not just a source of light, but a living, breathing entity, pulsing with energy that flows from its core to its outer layers, feeding the planets and moons that revolve around it. But the pulse of the stars does not stop at their life cycles. It stretches across the entire universe, connecting all stars, all galaxies, all living things. When you look up at the night sky, you are not just seeing distant lights, you are seeing the echo of a vast cosmic pulse, a rhythm that has been moving through the universe since the very beginning of time. The light that fills the sky is not just the result of individual stars shining. It is the result of the collective energy of countless stars, all pulsing together, creating a grand symphony of light and energy. This cosmic pulse is felt not just by the stars, but by the very fabric of the universe. The space between the stars is not empty, as it may seem. It is filled with energy, a quiet, invisible current that connects everything. This energy flows through the galaxies, through the stars, through the planets, and through every atom in existence. It is the pulse of the universe, a steady rhythm that shapes the cosmos, guiding it through its cycles of birth, growth, and death. And just as the stars pulse with energy, so too does the universe itself pulse with the rhythm of creation, constantly renewing itself, constantly changing, always moving forward. As the stars shine in the night sky, their light travels across vast distances, carrying with it the pulse of the universe. This light, though it takes millions or even billions of years to reach us, is a direct connection to the stars themselves, to the energy that created them, and to the energy that continues to fuel them. The light we see in the night sky is a moment frozen in time, a memory of the stars, a snapshot of the universe's ongoing rhythm. Each star we see is not just a point of light, it is a message from the past, a message that reminds us of the eternal pulse of the universe, a pulse that continues to shape the world around us. The light that fills the sky is not just a simple illumination of the night, it is a reflection of the larger forces at work in the universe, forces that are constantly at play, shaping the cosmos and everything within it. When we look up at the stars, we are reminded that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, a vast interconnected system of energy and light. The stars are not distant and disconnected from us. They are part of the same rhythm that governs our world, the same pulse that flows through the very fabric of existence. This realization brings a sense of awe, of wonder, and of connection to the universe, reminding us that we are not isolated in the vastness of space. We are part of the pulse, part of the rhythm, part of the light. And just as the stars pulse with energy, so too do we. The light that fills the sky is a reflection of the light within us, a reminder that we too are made of energy, made of light, and that we too have a role to play in the grand dance of the cosmos. The same forces that shape the stars also shape us, guiding us through our own cycles of growth, change, and transformation. The pulse of the universe flows through us, just as it flows through the stars, linking us to the very heart of existence itself. As we come to the end of our journey through the light that fills the sky, we begin to understand that this light, the light of the stars, is not a force that stands alone. It is part of an eternal cycle, one that has been unfolding for billions of years. This cycle, a constant, unbroken loop, is what gives the universe its flow, its rhythm, and its life. The light from the stars does not simply shine and fade. It travels, it moves, it creates, and it shapes the world. This cycle of light is not only a physical process, but a profound spiritual force that connects all of creation, from the tiniest particle to the largest galaxy. The light that comes from the stars is not just the glow of burning gases in the sky. It is a living energy, one that travels across space, moving through vast distances, reaching our eyes with its ancient message. As the light travels, it carries with it the history of the star, the story of its birth, its life, and its eventual death. The light from each star is not just a fleeting moment of illumination. It is a lasting imprint, a reminder of the forces that shaped it. This light travels through time and space, bridging the gap between the present and the distant past. When you look at the stars, you are seeing the echo of events that happened millions or even billions of years ago, a reflection of the ancient cycles of the universe that continue to unfold. In this way, the light that fills the sky is not just about the stars themselves, but about the larger cycle of creation. The energy that radiates from the stars is part of a continuous process, one that connects everything in the universe. When a star dies, its light is not lost. Instead, it transforms into new elements, new energy, and new life. The death of a star, a supernova, sends waves of energy through the universe, creating the conditions for the birth of new stars, new planets, and new possibilities. The light that once illuminated one part of the universe is now spread across space, giving birth to new forms of life, new ways of being. This cycle of light, of birth and death, is the heartbeat of the cosmos. And just as the stars shine and die, so too do we. The light within us, the energy that sustains our lives, follows a similar cycle. Just as the stars are born from the gas and dust of the cosmos, we are born from the elements of the earth, shaped by the very forces that govern the universe. We grow, we live, and we eventually pass away. But like the light of the stars, our energy does not simply vanish. It transforms, it continues, it becomes part of the larger cycle. The energy that powers our thoughts, our actions, and our hearts is part of the same cycle that powers the stars. When we pass on, the energy that we once carried becomes part of the earth, the air, and the life around us. In this way, our light, like the light of the stars, is never truly gone. It transforms, and the cycle continues just as it always has. This realization brings a sense of peace, a sense of connection to the greater rhythm of the universe. The light that fills the sky is not just a distant, impersonal force. It is the very force that connects us to everything around us, to the earth, to the stars, and to each other. The light in the sky is a reflection of the light within us, a reminder that we are part of something much larger, something eternal. The cycles of birth and death, of creation and transformation are not just the cycles of the stars, they are our cycles too. And just as the stars shine with the light of the universe, so too do we shine with the light of life, carrying within us the same energy that flows through the cosmos. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that the light you see is more than just distant stars. It is the very energy of the universe, the same energy that has shaped the world and the lives within it. It is a cycle of light that has no beginning and no end, only a continuous flow, moving through all things, connecting everything in a grand eternal dance. And you, like the stars, are part of that dance, part of the eternal cycle of light that fills the sky, fills the earth, and fills your very bones. If you take a moment to stand still, closing your eyes and listen closely, you might hear it. A quiet, steady rhythm, a pulse that resonates deep beneath your feet. It's the heartbeat of the earth, moving through the soil, the roots of the trees, and the very foundation of the land itself. This pulse is not something you can see, but it is as real as the air you breathe, as constant as the sun that rises and sets each day. The earth, it seems, has its own memory, a history that is recorded not in books or words, but in the very layers of the land, in the rocks beneath your feet, and in the flow of rivers and oceans. This memory is ancient, stretching back millions of years, and yet it is alive, moving through the earth like a quiet, invisible thread, connecting all of creation. Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a dense forest. The ground beneath your feet is soft, covered in moss and fallen leaves. As you walk, you are not just moving across the surface of the earth, you are stepping upon its memory. Each stone, each tree, each patch of soil is a record of the past, a snapshot of a time long gone. The trees have stood for decades, if not centuries, their roots burrowing deep into the earth, drawing nutrients from the soil and sending signals back into the land. The soil itself is rich with the remnants of ancient life, the decayed leaves, the broken branches, the tiny creatures that once lived and died. The earth holds these memories, these pieces of history, and continues to nurture the new life that grows from it. Beneath the surface, the earth's memory is recorded in the layers of rock and soil that have been built up over millennia. These layers are like pages in a vast unwritten book, each one telling a story of the planet's history. The deeper you go, the older the story becomes. The rocks beneath your feet hold the secrets of ancient forests, the remains of long-extinct creatures, and the forces that shape the land. These layers were formed by the slow, steady forces of nature, the pull of gravity, the pressure of the Earth's movements, the relentless flow of water. The Earth's memory is not a quick, fleeting thing. It is something that is built over time, shaped by countless small moments and large events, all of which are woven together in the fabric of the land. But this memory is not just a record of the past, it is a living, breathing history that continues to shape the world we live in today. The Earth's memory is ever present, influencing the present and the future. When we walk through the forest, when we stand beside a river, we are interacting with this memory. The soil, the rocks, the trees, all of these things carry the echoes of what came before. The air you breathe has been touched by the breath of countless plants and animals that have lived and died, leaving behind their imprint on the land. The Earth's memory is written in the soil you walk on, the water you drink, the food you eat, and the air you breathe. It is a constant silent presence guiding the world's rhythms, shaping the future through the history it carries. Imagine now the pulse of a river flowing quietly through the landscape. The river carries with it the memory of the land it travels through, the sediment it picks up, the plants and animals it nourishes. Each drop of water that flows through the river has touched countless places, gathering traces of the land's history and bringing it to new places. As the river moves, it reshapes the land, carving new paths, bringing nutrients to the soil and creating new life. The river's pulse is a reflection of the Earth's larger rhythm, a rhythm that moves in cycles, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. The Earth's memory is not just recorded in the land, but in the life that grows upon it. Every plant, every tree, every creature that walks the earth carries within it a piece of this memory. The trees that stand tall in the forest have roots that stretch deep into the earth, drawing from its history, its memory. The seeds they drop, the fruit they bear, all carry the imprint of the land. The animals that roam the earth, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, are part of this cycle, living and growing in harmony with the land's rhythms. Even we, as human beings, are part of this memory, walking the earth and shaping its future, leaving our own imprints upon the land. The Earth's memory is not just a reflection of the past, but a guide for the future. The lessons it holds, the changes it has undergone, the patterns it has followed, are written in the soil and the rocks, carried in the flow of water and the growth of plants. The Earth has witnessed countless cycles of life and death, of creation and destruction, and it continues to shape the world in ways we are only beginning to understand. The memory of the Earth is alive, moving, and constantly renewing itself, a quiet force that influences everything, from the smallest seed to the greatest mountain. As we continue to listen to the heartbeat of the Earth, we realize that the soil beneath our feet is more than just earth and dust. It is a living, breathing archive of history, a deep well of stories waiting to be uncovered. The soil, like the pages of an ancient book, holds the remnants of everything that has ever grown, lived, and died upon it. Each grain of dirt, each particle of sand is a small record of the world's past, a quiet memory of the plants, animals, and people that have come before us. The earth does not speak in words, but in layers of soil, in the roots that stretch deep into the ground, and in the quiet rustle of the wind through the leaves. The memory of the land is written in the very soil itself, a record that tells the story of the world's changing face. Imagine for a moment that you are kneeling beside the earth, your fingers brushing against the soil. As you touch it, you are not just feeling the Earth's surface, you are connecting to the stories that lie beneath. The soil beneath your hands carries with it the echoes of countless lifetimes. Within this soil are tiny ancient seeds, remnants of plants that have come and gone. As the Earth shifts and moves, these seeds, though small and seemingly insignificant, are carried deeper into the layers of soil. They wait patiently for the right conditions to grow once again. The soil, in this sense, is not a passive substance. It is alive with history, holding within it the potential for new growth and the quiet whispers of the past. The layers of soil tell the stories of the Earth's ever-changing landscape. Each layer, built up over time, is a snapshot of a different moment in the planet's history. Some layers are rich with nutrients, the result of years of plant decay and the steady work of animals and microorganisms that call the soil their home. Other layers tell of past climates, of times when the Earth was warmer or cooler, drier or wetter. These layers carry the evidence of long-forgotten seasons, of floods, droughts, and the still slow march of time. As the Earth shifts and the weather changes, new layers are formed, each one telling a story, adding a new chapter to the history of the land. The memory held in the soil is not just about the plants and the animals. It is also a record of the people who have lived on the land. The soil carries with it the remnants of human history too, the tools, the fire pits, the pottery fragments that tell the stories of ancient civilizations. As we walk upon the land, we are walking upon a tapestry of human existence, each step moving through layers of history that have shaped the world we live in today. The soil beneath us is not just the foundation of our present life, it is the foundation of our past, carrying the legacy of the people who came before us. In this way, the memory of the Earth is not just about nature, but about the interconnectedness of all life, human and non-human alike. Even the plants that grow from the soil carry with them the memory of the land. The roots of a tree that stretch deep into the earth are like tendrils reaching into the past. Drawing from the nutrients and stories of the soil below, the leaves that rustle in the breeze carry with them the energy of the land, the light of the sun, and the water that has been drawn up from the soil. The plants, in their growth and their decay, are a reflection of the soil's memory, a memory that is constantly evolving, growing, and transforming. The cycle of life that plants follow, from seed to growth to death and renewal, is part of the larger rhythm of the earth, a rhythm that is recorded in the soil, in the roots, in the very essence of life. The soil's memory is not just a record of what has happened, but a guide for what is yet to come. As the Earth's climate changes and new plants and animals adapt to the shifting conditions, the soil is there, waiting, storing the knowledge of what works and what does not. The memory of the land is a living force, one that shapes the future as much as it holds the past. When we tend to the soil, when we nurture it with care, we are not just feeding the plants that grow from it. We are participating in the great cycle of life, contributing to the ongoing story of the Earth. The soil, with all its layers, is a reminder that life is not just about the present moment, but about the past, the present and the future all intertwined in an eternal dance. In this way, the soil's memory teaches us patience and respect. It shows us that the Earth does not rush. It takes its time building, shaping, renewing. Just as the soil holds the history of the world in its layers, so too must we remember the importance of the past as we move toward the future. The soil reminds us that everything is connected, that the actions we take today will leave their mark on the land, just as the actions of those who came before us have left their imprint on the earth. We are all part of this ongoing story, and the soil, with its quiet memory, is a living reminder of that connection. As we reach the final part of our journey through the memory of the earth, we begin to see that the earth's memory is not confined to the soil, the rocks, or the plants alone. It stretches upward, into the sky itself, where the land and the atmosphere have an unspoken dialogue, a quiet exchange that shapes both the present and the future. The earth and the sky are not separate, but part of the same great conversation, one that has been unfolding for eons. Every raindrop that falls, every gust of wind, every shift in the clouds is a message, a memory, being passed between the two. It is a delicate yet powerful relationship, one that affects the very climate we experience, the seasons that turn, and the life that blooms and fades. Imagine standing in a field, surrounded by the vast sky above you, the earth beneath your feet. You can feel the breeze on your skin, the warmth of the sun on your face, and the slight coolness of the air as it shifts. As the wind moves across the land, it carries with it the memory of the Earth's surface, the moisture from the soil, the scents of the plants, the energy of the sun's warmth. In return, the land responds to the sky, absorbing the sunlight, drawing in the rain, and giving back oxygen and life. This exchange, though invisible, is essential to the Earth's ongoing cycles. The Earth listens to the sky as the sky listens to the Earth. And in this conversation, the world's rhythm continues, shaping the environment, the seasons, and all living things. The atmosphere, this thin layer of gases that wraps around the Earth, carries with it the traces of everything that has happened on the surface. It holds the record of every storm, every drought, every change in temperature. The air is not simply a mixture of gases, it is a living, breathing memory of the Earth's past. When we breathe in the air, we are not just taking in oxygen, we are breathing in the history of the Earth itself, the gases that have been cycling through the atmosphere for billions of years, the particles that have travelled across oceans and continents, the carbon dioxide that plants have absorbed and released. Each breath is a moment of connection to the planet, a moment where the Earth's memory has passed into us, shaping the rhythm of our own bodies. But this exchange between the Earth and the sky is not only about what is passed between them, it is also about the changes that occur in both. The Earth's memory is constantly evolving, influenced by the changing weather patterns, the movement of air, the shifting of seasons. Just as the land adapts to the conditions of the sky, changing temperatures, different wind currents, the arrival of rain or drought, so too does the sky respond to the changing face of the Earth. When the Earth warms, the atmosphere warms too, sending ripples of energy through the air and shifting the balance of the climate. When the Earth cools, the sky cools with it, changing the patterns of weather, the direction of the winds, and the way the sun feels on our skin. This conversation between the Earth and the sky is an ongoing one, shaping the world we know. The memory of the Earth is not just stored in the soil and the rocks, but in the very air that surrounds us, in the shifting clouds, in the winds that carry the stories of distant lands. The sky itself holds a record of the Earth's history, a reflection of the temperature changes, the patterns of rainfall, the movement of glaciers, and the evolution of life on the planet. When we look up at the sky, we are looking at the Earth's memory, a living record of the planet's past, present, and future. The sky, in its quiet way, also shapes the future. As the Earth continues to warm and the weather patterns shift, the memory of the past will influence the changes to come. The way the land has responded to past climates will shape how it responds to the future. The forests, the rivers, the deserts, all of these are part of the Earth's ongoing dialogue with the sky. And just as the Earth shapes the sky shapes the Earth. The light that falls from the sun, the winds that blow across the land, the rain that nourishes the soil, all of these carry the memory of the sky, shaping the land below and the life it supports. As we stand on the Earth, surrounded by the wind and the sky, we are reminded that we are not separate from this great conversation. We are part of it, connected to the land, the air, and the cycles that move through them. The memory of the Earth is not something we can see or touch, but it is something we feel in every breath, every step, every change in the wind. It is a living memory, carried in the very soil beneath our feet and in the sky above us, shaping the world we live in, guiding us through the seasons, and reminding us of the interconnectedness of all life. If you find yourself in the heart of a forest surrounded by towering trees, you may notice something remarkable. The way the air feels, the way the light filters softly through the leaves, the stillness that seems to wrap around you. In this quiet, hidden world, something is happening, something subtle but powerful. The trees, though they appear still, are engaged in a quiet conversation with each other, one that spans the entire forest. They are not simply rooted in the ground, passively reaching toward the sky. They are living, breathing entities, constantly communicating with one another, sharing information and even offering support. The trees are, in a way, whispering to each other, their words carried not by sound, but by the very rhythm of the forest itself. This silent conversation takes place through an intricate network of roots that stretch deep beneath the soil, weaving together the forest like a living web. The roots are not just for anchoring the trees in place, they are the conduits through which the trees exchange nutrients, water, and information. When one tree is in need of something, perhaps water, perhaps a particular nutrient, it sends a signal through the roots to its neighbours. In response, the surrounding trees send what is needed, ensuring that the balance of the forest remains intact. This sharing, this quiet support, is an essential part of the forest's ecosystem, allowing the trees to grow and thrive in harmony with one another. But the trees do not only communicate through their roots. Above the ground, they are also engaged in a constant exchange, sending messages through the air. The leaves, in their quiet movements, are constantly sensing the environment, the amount of sunlight, the direction of the wind, the temperature of the air. When a tree senses that it's receiving enough sunlight, it shares that information with the other trees nearby, subtly influencing their growth patterns. When the forest feels dry, when the rains are slow to come, the trees respond by adjusting their water use, drawing from the deep reservoirs in the soil to ensure that all the trees are nourished. In this way, the trees are not solitary beings. They are connected to one another in a network of communication that keeps the entire forest alive, balanced, and thriving. This quiet communication is not limited to just the trees. The entire forest is part of this intricate web of life. The fungi that grow in the soil, the insects that crawl among the leaves, the animals that make their homes in the branches, all are part of the conversation. The mycorrhizal networks, which are vast underground webs of fungal threads, serve as the highway through which nutrients and messages are passed from tree to tree, plant to plant. The insects, too, play their part, moving between the trees, transferring pollen, spreading seeds, and helping to carry the tree's messages to new parts of the forest. Even the wind, which rustles through the leaves, carries information, spreading the tree's whispers across the canopy from one tree to another, helping them stay in sync with the changing seasons, the coming storms, and the shifting landscape. It's as if the forest, in its quiet, gentle way, is one living organism, with each tree, each plant, and each creature playing a part in the ongoing conversation. The trees whisper not just to each other, but to the entire ecosystem around them. This silent exchange is the very foundation of the forest's life, ensuring that everything is in balance, that no one tree, no one species dominates. It is a dance of harmony, a rhythm of give and take, where the trees share their resources, their knowledge, and their strength with one another, ensuring that the forest continues to grow and flourish. But the trees' whispers are not just about survival. They are also about growth, about learning, and about the passing of time. The trees communicate the changing seasons, sending signals to one another about when it is time to bloom, when it is time to shed leaves, when it is time to rest. This quiet exchange of information allows the forest to move with the rhythm of the earth, to respond to the ever-changing cycles of life, death, and rebirth. It is a reminder that time in the forest is not measured by clocks or calendars, but by the subtle, ongoing whispers that pass from one generation of trees to the next. As you stand in the forest surrounded by the ancient trees, you may begin to sense that the whispers are not just from the trees, but from the earth itself. The trees are the voices of the land, carrying the history of the forest, the wisdom of the earth, and the knowledge of the past. Through their quiet conversations, the trees pass on the stories of the forest, the lessons learned from the cycles of the seasons, the changes in the weather, and the patterns of life. In this way, the trees are not only a part of the present, but also the keepers of the past, carrying the memory of the forest through time, ensuring that the wisdom of the land is never lost. As we continue our journey through the forest, we begin to realize that the trees' communication is not confined to their roots, nor is it solely carried through the wind. There is another, quieter conversation taking place, a conversation that happens within the very leaves of the trees. The leaves, with their vibrant green colour, are not just there to catch the light, but to listen, to respond, and to communicate with the world around them. They are part of the tree's vast network of language, one that is spoken in the language of light, water, and air. The leaves of the trees are constantly absorbing light, capturing the energy of the sun through a process called photosynthesis. This process is not just about fueling the tree's growth. It is a conversation, a delicate exchange between the tree and the world around it. The leaves take in sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water from the roots, and transform them into sugars and oxygen, which the tree uses for nourishment and growth. In this exchange, the leaves are not passive recipients of energy. They are active participants in the cycle of life, constantly exchanging with the air, the earth, and the sky. Through this quiet process, the leaves are not just absorbing light, they are communicating with the environment, signaling to the rest of the forest, to the soil, and to the creatures that live there. But this language of the leaves is not just about the physical process of photosynthesis. It is also about the way the trees communicate with each other through chemical signals. When a tree is under stress, whether from a lack of water, an attack by insects, or a change in the weather, it sends signals through the air, through the leaves to the other trees around it. These chemical signals are a warning, a message that something has changed in the environment, and the other trees respond in kind. Some trees will begin to release certain chemicals that make their leaves less appetizing to insects, while others may release substances that help to attract predators that will eat the insects. This chemical language is a form of protection, one that allows the trees to support one another and adapt to the changing conditions of the forest. In addition to these chemical signals, the leaves also communicate through a more subtle, invisible language, the language of the wind. The wind, which flows gently through the trees, carries with it the messages of the leaves, rustling them in the breeze, signaling the arrival of a storm or a change in the season. The leaves, in their quiet way, respond to the wind, shifting and swaying, sending their own silent message to the rest of the forest. It is a conversation that happens on the edges of perception, one that we may not always notice, but one that is constantly unfolding, silently shaping the rhythm of the forest. The wind, in its soft whispers, is the carrier of stories. As it moves through the trees, it carries the stories of the forest, the ancient tales of the land, the weather, and the seasons. The leaves, with their gentle rustling, add their own voices to this ongoing conversation. It is as though the entire forest is telling a story that is carried by the wind, spoken through the leaves and shared between the trees. This language, though subtle, is powerful, and it connects every tree to every other tree, creating a vast living network of communication that spans the entire forest. This network of communication between the trees, the leaves, and the wind is not just about survival. It is about the deep interconnection of all things in the forest. The trees, through their leaves, are constantly sharing information with one another. They are not isolated beings, but part of a larger system, one that depends on cooperation, sharing, and mutual support. The language of the leaves is a reminder that the world is not made up of separate parts, but is an intricate web of life, where every part is connected, every action is shared, and every message is received. The trees are not just living in the forest. They are part of the forest, deeply entwined in its rhythms and cycles, communicating and growing together. In the language of the leaves, there is a deep wisdom, a wisdom that has been passed down through generations of trees, from the first saplings that took root in the soil to the towering giants of today. The leaves, in their quiet conversations, carry the knowledge of the past, the lessons learned from centuries of growth, change, and adaptation. They know when to bloom and when to rest, when to stretch toward the sun, and when to withdraw into the quiet of the night. The leaves are the keepers of this wisdom, and through their subtle whispers, they share it with the rest of the forest, ensuring that the cycle of life continues, that the forest remains strong, and that the light of the trees continues to fill the sky. As we stand in the heart of the forest surrounded by the ancient trees, we begin to realize that the whispers of the trees are not just about the present, but about the past and the future. The trees, with their deep roots and towering canopies, are not simply passive observers of the world around them. They are active participants in a cycle of life, death, and renewal, carrying with them the wisdom and memories of countless generations. The forest itself is a living record, one that stretches back through the ages, holding the stories of every tree, every creature, every storm, and every change in the world. The legacy of the forest is written in the rings of the trees, each one marking a year of growth, a year of life. These rings are more than just a record of time. They are a reflection of the environment, the challenges, and the triumphs that the trees have faced. When a tree grows in a season of plenty, the rings are wide and strong, a sign of abundant sunlight and water. But in times of drought or harsh conditions, the rings become narrow, a reminder of the struggles that the tree has overcome. These rings are a map, a history, a memory of the tree's journey through life. And as the trees grow, they pass this memory down to the soil, to the air, and to the other trees. It is a shared memory, one that connects all the trees in the forest, one that binds them together in an unbroken chain of life and experience. In this way, the trees not only remember their own lives, but the lives of those that came before them. The forest is a community, one that is built upon the legacy of the past. When a tree falls, it does not simply vanish. It becomes part of the soil, enriching the land and nourishing the plants that will grow in its place. The fallen tree becomes the foundation for new life, creating space for new seedlings to take root and new generations of trees to rise. In this way, the death of one tree is not the end, but the beginning of something new, a continuation of the cycle of life that has been unfolding for millions of years. The forest, with its constant cycles of growth, death, and renewal, is a testament to the power of nature's resilience and the deep, enduring memory of the land. But the forest is not just a place of memories, it is also a place of hope, of future growth. The whispers of the trees are not only about what has been, but about what is to come. The forest is constantly evolving, adapting to the changing environment, responding to the seasons, the weather, and the life around it. The trees, through their quiet conversations, are preparing for the future, ensuring that the forest will continue to thrive for generations to come. The forest's memory is not just about the past. It is a living, breathing blueprint for the future, one that is passed down from tree to tree, from generation to generation. In this way, the trees are not just the guardians of the forest's memory, but its future as well. The seeds that fall from the trees carry the potential for new life, for new beginnings. The next generation of trees will grow from the very soil that their ancestors enriched, reaching toward the light, growing strong and continuing the cycle. The forest is a legacy, a living testament to the resilience of nature and the power of interconnectedness. Each tree, each leaf, each root is part of this greater whole, working together to ensure the survival of the forest, to pass on the wisdom of the past and the hope for the future. As we walk through the forest, we too become part of this legacy. The trees, in their quiet whispers, remind us that we are not separate from the world around us, but deeply connected to it. The forest is not just a place of life, it is a place of memory, of growth, of transformation. It is a reminder that everything in nature is interconnected, that every life, every breath, every moment is part of a larger story that stretches through time. The trees, with their silent conversations, teach us the value of patience, of resilience, and of the importance of nurturing the world around us. They remind us that we are all part of a larger cycle, one that is constantly moving forward, growing and evolving. The legacy of the forest is not just about the trees, the animals, or the plants. It is about the land itself, the very soil beneath our feet. It is about the quiet rhythms of life that unfold every day, the swift and steady growth of nature, the whispers that pass from one generation to the next. The forest, in its quiet, unassuming way, teaches us the power of memory, of connection, and of life. And as we leave the forest, we carry with us the lessons it has taught us, the whispers of the trees, the stories of the land, and the memory of a place that has stood the test of time. If you stand beside a river, you might notice how the water moves, flowing gently over rocks and around bends, continuing its path toward the ocean. The water's journey is long, its movement constant, yet always changing. It never stays the same, even for an instant. The river seems like a timeless, unbroken flow, carrying with it the memory of all that it has touched. Each drop of water, though it is part of the endless current, carries with it the traces of the past, the places it has been, the landscapes it has shaped, and the lives it has nourished. The river, like water itself, holds the memory of time, quietly recording every moment that has passed through it, every storm, every drop of rain, every gust of wind. Water is not just a substance, it is a living, breathing memory. Each drop has travelled through the atmosphere, fallen as rain, soaked into the soil, and flowed into rivers, lakes, and oceans. It has been part of every living thing that has come before, from the smallest seed to the tallest tree, from the creatures that walked upon the earth to the people who have lived and loved. Water has seen everything, witnessed the passage of time, and, in a way, recorded it in its very flow. As it moves through the world, water carries with it the history of the earth, storing the memories of past climates, past civilizations, and the ever-shifting cycles of nature. The memory of water is not confined to the riverbanks or the lakes. It is present in every part of the world, moving silently beneath the surface, flowing through the ground, circulating through the atmosphere. The water in the ocean, for example, has travelled great distances. It has moved through the air as vapour, been drawn up by the sun, and returned again as rain. It has nourished the earth, moved through the soil, and been part of countless living things. The oceans themselves hold the deepest memory of the planet, a record of everything that has ever happened, of the great shifts in the Earth's climate, of the changes in the land, and of the creatures that have called it home. But the memory of water is not just about the distant past. It is a living, changing memory, one that is constantly being renewed and reshaped. The water that you drink today may have been part of a great glacier thousands of years ago, part of a river that once flowed through a forest, or part of a rainstorm that nourished the land. The water in your body, in your cells, carries with it the memory of life, the breath of animals, the growth of plants, and the cycle of the seasons. Each drop of water, whether it is in a river or in the clouds, is part of this great ongoing story. The memory of water is not static, it is a fluid, ever-changing record of the Earth's history, constantly moving, constantly evolving. As you drink water, as you bathe in it, as you feel it rain upon your skin, you are not just interacting with a simple substance, you are engaging with the very essence of the planet's memory. The water you touch today is connected to everything that has ever come before, and to everything that will ever come after. It has travelled through time, through landscapes, through life, and it will continue to carry the stories of the Earth for as long as it flows. The memory of water is a reminder that time, though it seems to move forward in a linear fashion, is never truly lost. It is carried with us in the very elements of the world, in the air, in the soil, in the rivers, and in the oceans. Time does not vanish. It simply moves, flows, and is carried on the wings of water. As we journey deeper into the memory of water, we find ourselves moving toward the coldest places on Earth, the glaciers, the ice caps, and the snowfields. Here, water holds its memories in a quiet, frozen form, capturing moments of time that stretch back thousands of years. The ice is like a crystal archive, preserving the stories of the Earth's past in layers of frozen water. Each layer of snow that falls is a page in this ancient book, holding traces of the air, the climate, and the environment of the moment it was formed. As the snow compacts into ice, it traps tiny bubbles of air, microscopic particles, and even traces of life, preserving them perfectly in the cold silence. Imagine the weight of time pressing down through the centuries as snow layers build upon one another, forming thick sheets of ice. These glaciers move slowly, inexorably, carrying with them the history of the Earth. Scientists drill deep into the ice, extracting cores that reveal the climate of long ago, the warmth of past summers, the chill of ice ages, the rise and fall of greenhouse gases. Each frozen layer tells a story of changes in the Earth's atmosphere, the shifting patterns of weather, and the cycles of nature. This frozen memory is both a record of the past and a warning for the future, showing us how the Earth has changed and how it may change again. But the memory of ice is not just about the distant past. It also connects to the present and future. As the planet warms, glaciers are melting, releasing water that has been locked away for millennia. This melting ice flows into rivers and oceans, carrying with it the history it has preserved. The water released holds stories of a colder Earth, of climates that once were, and as it mixes with the seas, it influences currents and weather patterns. This connection between ice and water reminds us that the memory of the Earth is always in motion, constantly being reshaped by the forces of nature. The frozen memory of water also reminds us of the fragility of the planet's balance. As glaciers retreat, the landscape changes. New rivers form, sea levels rise, and ecosystems adapt to new conditions. The memory carried by the ice, once thought to be permanent, is now transforming before our eyes, a living record of change that we are all part of. The stories held within the ice are not silent, they speak to us, urging us to listen, to understand, and to act with care. The frozen memory of water is a testament to the interconnectedness of life, the delicate balance that sustains the planet, and the ongoing story of change that we share. Through the ice and snow, we see that water is not just a liquid flowing through rivers and oceans, but a keeper of time itself. It carries within it the history of the Earth, the cycles of nature, and the rhythms of life. The frozen layers remind us that time can be preserved, that moments can be held still, and that memory can exist even in the coldest, quietest places. And as the ice melts and the water flows once more, the stories of the past are carried forward, becoming part of the living memory of the earth. As we return from the frozen heights to the flowing rivers, we find ourselves immersed once again in the living memory of water. The rivers carry with them not only the present flow, but also the echoes of the past, a constant current of history moving through the landscape. Each drop of water in a river has a story. It has travelled across mountains, through forests, over rocks, and across plains. The river is a living timeline, a flowing archive that carries the memory of the earth, the seasons, and the life that depends upon it. The movement of water is a reminder that time is never truly still. It moves, it flows, it shapes the world around it. The river's path is carved by countless moments, the slow erosion of stone, the shifting of sediments, and the shaping of valleys. These processes take place over millennia, yet they are ongoing, continuous, never ceasing. The river remembers each bend and twist, the floods and droughts, the rainstorms and dry spells. It carries with it the lessons of resilience and change, teaching us that life is a dance of movement and stillness, of growth and renewal. The river flows onward, carrying memories forward, never forgetting, always creating something new. This flowing memory connects all living things. The water in the river nourishes plants and animals, brings life to the soil and sustains human communities. It connects mountains to oceans, forests to deserts, past to future. The river is a thread in the great fabric of life, weaving together the stories of countless beings, carrying the history of the land in its gentle, persistent flow. Every ripple, every wave, every current is a reminder that time is a river, always moving, always changing, always alive. And so the memory of water teaches us to move with grace, to adapt to the rhythms of life, to flow through the challenges and joys of existence. Water's story is our story, a shared journey through time, a river of moments, memories, and connections. It is a reminder that we are part of a greater whole, connected through the elements, through the cycles, and through the endless flow of time itself. If you close your eyes and listen carefully, you might imagine the quiet hum that fills your mind, a subtle current, invisible but powerful. This is the electricity of thought, the silent spark that ignites every idea, every memory, and every feeling. Inside your brain, billions of tiny cells called neurons are constantly communicating, sending electrical signals back and forth, creating the rich landscape of your inner world. This electrical flow is delicate yet immense, weaving together the complex patterns that give rise to consciousness, to understanding, and to the endless dance of thought itself. Your brain is a vast network, more intricate than any city, filled with pathways that carry electrical impulses in lightning-fast bursts. These impulses travel along neurons, jumping across tiny gaps called synapses, where chemical messengers help transmit the signal. It's a symphony of light and energy, a constant exchange that powers everything from the simplest reflex to the most profound insight. The electricity of thought is not just a physical process, but a delicate dance, a balance between chemicals and currents, rhythm and flow that creates the experience of being aware. Imagine the spark of a single thought. It begins in one neuron, a tiny pulse of electricity that travels outward, connecting to other neurons and igniting new sparks. This chain reaction grows, forming a web of activity that lights up parts of the brain, each area contributing its own role to the emerging idea. Thoughts are built from millions of these tiny electrical fires, weaving a tapestry of meaning and memory. And yet this fire is gentle and calm, not harsh or frantic. It moves softly through the brain's networks, a quiet current that carries the essence of your mind. The electricity of thought is also shaped by your experiences and emotions. When you feel joy, fear, curiosity, or calm, your brain's electrical patterns shift, changing the way signals flow. These shifts influence how you perceive the world, how you remember moments, and how you plan for the future. The electrical currents within your brain are sensitive to the world around you and to your inner state, constantly adapting and reshaping themselves in response to new information. This fluidity is the foundation of learning and growth, allowing your mind to change and evolve over time. The power of this electrical current is both astonishing and intimate. It connects you to every part of your body, controlling your movements, your senses, and your reactions. Without this flow of electricity, the body would be silent, motionless, and unaware. The electrical signals coordinate the beating of your heart, the movement of your muscles, and the processing of your senses, creating a seamless flow of life. Every breath, every heartbeat, every glance is powered by this invisible energy, the electricity that courses through your nervous system, linking body and mind in an elegant dance. Yet the electricity of thought is not without its mysteries. Scientists continue to study how exactly these electrical signals create consciousness, how the firing of neurons leads to feelings, thoughts, and awareness. Some believe consciousness arises from the complex patterns of electrical activity, while others wonder if there is more to this quiet spark. The electricity of thought remains a profound mystery, a gentle light illuminating the depths of the mind, inviting us to explore, to question, and to marvel at the wonder of being aware. As we drift deeper into the world of the electricity of thought, we find ourselves surrounded by a vast and intricate dance. Within the soft folds of your brain, billions of neurons move in a delicate choreography, each one a tiny spark of electrical energy passing messages with remarkable speed and precision. This dance is not random, it is a beautifully coordinated rhythm, a gentle flow that connects one part of your mind to another, weaving thoughts, memories, and feelings into the fabric of your consciousness. Each neuron plays its role, firing and resting, sending pulses that ripple through networks, creating patterns that are as complex as they are graceful. Imagine this dance as a vast forest of lights, where every twinkle represents a neuron sending an electrical signal. These lights flicker on and off, connecting in an endless series of exchanges, forming networks that can shift and change with every new experience. When you learn something new, when you remember a forgotten moment, or when you dream a silent dream, this dance of electricity shifts, creating new pathways, new connections. The brain's ability to rewire itself in response to these experiences, called neuroplasticity, is the source of growth, healing, and change. The dance of neurons is alive and fluid, continuously adapting to the rhythm of your life. This electrical dance is also a conversation, a language of sparks and pauses, a silent communication between cells. The neurons use tiny bursts of electricity to speak, sending signals across synapses with the help of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These chemicals ensure that the message is clear, that the spark travels safely from one neuron to the next. The balance of these chemicals and the timing of the electrical impulses create the symphony of your thoughts, the melody of your feelings, and the harmony of your senses. This conversation happens millions of times every second, creating the awareness you experience in every moment. But this dance is not always smooth. Sometimes the rhythm falters. Electrical signals can misfire, neurotransmitters can fall out of balance, and the delicate conversation between neurons can become disrupted. These disruptions can cause confusion, memory lapses, or changes in mood. Yet even in these moments, the brain's dance continues. The neurons seek new connections, finding alternate pathways, rewiring the networks, and restoring balance. This resilience is a testament to the strength and flexibility of the brain, a constant reminder that the dance of neurons is a living, breathing process, ever-changing and deeply connected to the flow of life. In this dance, every thought you have is a movement, every feeling a note, every memory a step. The electricity that flows through your brain is the music, the rhythm, and the light of your consciousness. It is the force that brings your inner world to life, that colours your experiences, and that connects you to the vast, mysterious universe within your mind. And as you listen to this quiet dance, you begin to sense the wonder of being, the incredible power of the electricity of thought, flowing endlessly, softly like a river of light. As our journey through the electricity of thought comes to a gentle close, we find ourselves resting in the quiet glow of awareness. The electricity that flows through your brain is not just a scientific marvel, it is the very light that illuminates your inner world. This light is soft and steady, like the gentle flicker of a candle in the dark, guiding you through the landscape of your mind. It is a light that brings clarity to your thoughts, warmth to your emotions, and depth to your experiences. The electricity of thought is the spark of consciousness, the energy that allows you to be present, to reflect, and to connect with the world around you. Imagine this light as a gentle fire, glowing quietly within the vast expanse of your mind. It is a fire that never burns too brightly or fades completely, but remains a constant presence, a source of life and understanding. This light is shaped by every experience you have ever had, by every memory, every feeling, and every dream. It is a reflection of the countless electrical sparks that dance within your neurons, weaving together the fabric of your identity. The light within you is a living mosaic, a tapestry of electrical energy that tells the story of who you are and who you are becoming. This inner light is also a source of resilience. Even in moments of darkness, confusion, or pain, the electricity of thought continues to flicker, offering hope and possibility. The brain's ability to adapt, to find new pathways, and to create new connections is a testament to this light's enduring presence. It reminds us that the mind is not fixed or static, but is a dynamic, ever-changing landscape. The light within is always moving, always evolving, responding to the world and to ourselves with quiet grace. The electricity of thought is also deeply connected to the rhythms of life. Just as the stars pulse with energy across the night sky, so does the light within your brain pulse with the rhythms of your breath, your heartbeat, and your body. This connection grounds your thoughts in the physical world, linking mind and body in an elegant dance of energy and awareness. The electricity that powers your thoughts is not isolated. It flows through you, connecting you to the world and to the people around you. It is the invisible thread that weaves together your inner world and the outer world, creating a seamless experience of being. As you rest in this light, you may feel a sense of peace and wonder. The electricity of thought is both a mystery and a gift, a force that sustains life and illuminates consciousness. It invites you to explore the depths of your mind, to embrace the flow of your thoughts, and to cherish the gentle glow that makes you aware. This light is a quiet reminder of the beauty of being alive, of the endless possibilities that come from the dance of electricity within your brain. The journey of the electricity of thought is ongoing, a constant unfolding of light and energy. Each moment, each breath, each thought adds to the tapestry, enriching the story of your mind. And as you move through the world, carrying this light within you, you are part of a greater dance, a dance of energy, of connection, and of life itself. The electricity of thought is the spark that makes you human, the light that guides your way, and the quiet current that flows through the heart of your existence. If you gaze up at the night sky on a clear evening, you will see countless stars, twinkling softly like distant candles scattered across a vast dark sea. These stars, though seemingly calm and unchanging, are alive with a powerful electricity, a force that fuels their brilliant light and fiery hearts. Deep within each star, a silent glow burns, a steady pulse of energy that has travelled across the universe to reach your eyes. This electricity is not like the current in a wire or the spark that powers a machine. It is a cosmic force, ancient and immense, born from the fusion of atoms in the hearts of stars. At the core of each star, hydrogen atoms collide and fuse, creating helium and releasing immense amounts of energy in the process. This fusion is the star's engine, a constant flow of energy that keeps it burning bright for millions or even billions of years. The electricity within the star is the result of this fusion, a stream of charged particles moving at incredible speed, creating magnetic fields and waves of energy that ripple through space. This electrical activity is responsible for the star's light, its heat, and its powerful magnetic storms that can send bursts of energy sweeping across the cosmos. Imagine for a moment the dance of particles within the star's core. Protons, electrons, and neutrons swirl and collide in a dance so intense and energetic that it shapes the very fabric of the universe. This dance creates a flow of electricity that radiates outward, reaching the surface and then streaming into space. The star's light that reaches us on Earth is carried on this current, travelling across vast distances through the emptiness of space until it touches our eyes. The electricity of the stars is a silent messenger, connecting distant parts of the cosmos in a web of energy and light. The electricity within stars also shapes their life cycles. As stars burn through their fuel, changes occur in their core, affecting the flow of energy and electricity. When the fuel begins to run low, the star may swell into a red giant or collapse into a white dwarf, neutron star, or even explode in a supernova. During these final stages, the star's electricity surges and shifts, sending powerful waves of energy across the universe. These cosmic fireworks spread the elements forged in the star's core, elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron, that will one day become the building blocks of planets, life, and even you. This connection between the electricity of the stars and life on Earth is profound. The atoms in your body, the minerals in the soil, the oxygen you breathe, all were once forged in the hearts of ancient stars, carried to Earth on cosmic winds. The electricity that powers the stars is the same force that makes life possible here, a reminder that we are all made of star stuff, linked to the universe in ways both visible and invisible. The star's silent glow is a beacon of this connection, a reminder that the electricity of the cosmos flows through everything, from the vastness of space to the quiet depths of your own being. As you look up at the night sky, imagine the vast currents of electricity flowing within each star, a cosmic river of energy that has travelled across time and space to reach you. This electricity is the light of the universe, the pulse of creation, and the quiet force that binds all things together. The stars, in their silent glow, invite us to wonder, to dream, and to remember that we are part of a grand cosmic dance, a dance of energy, light, and life that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. As we drift deeper into the realm of the stars, we begin to sense that their electricity is more than a force confined to a single star. It is part of a vast cosmic symphony, a grand dance of energy that flows through galaxies, clusters, and the very fabric of space itself. Each star is like a note in this immense orchestra, its electricity vibrating in harmony with countless others, creating rhythms and melodies that shape the universe's evolution. This cosmic symphony is ancient, vast, and ever-changing, a reminder that the universe is alive with electrical energy, moving in a delicate balance between order and chaos. Within galaxies, the electricity of stars combines with magnetic fields, cosmic rays, and swirling clouds of charged particles to create spectacular phenomena. From pulsars, rapidly spinning neutron stars emitting beams of radiation, to the intense bursts of gamma rays from exploding stars, the electrical activity in space is both powerful and mysterious. These cosmic events send ripples through space-time, carrying energy and information across unimaginable distances. The universe hums with this electric energy, a continuous flow that connects stars, planets, and even the tiny atoms that make up all matter. Imagine the Milky Way as a living organism, its billions of stars connected through invisible threads of magnetic and electrical energy. This network is like a nervous system, transmitting energy and signals across vast distances. The electricity within the stars feeds into this system, influencing the formation of the new stars and planets, shaping the growth of galaxies, and guiding the movement of cosmic matter. The cosmic symphony is not silent. It pulses with waves of light and energy that we can detect, study, and learn from. These signals tell the story of the universe's past, present, and future, a story written in the language of electricity and light. This symphony is deeply connected to the origins of life on Earth. The elements forged in stars through the power of fusion, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, are essential to life. The electricity of stars, by spreading these elements across the cosmos, creates the conditions necessary for life to emerge. The energy radiated by stars warms planets, drives weather systems, and powers photosynthesis, fueling the cycle of life on Earth. The electricity of the stars is, therefore, the spark that makes life possible, a cosmic connection that binds us to the universe. The delicate balance of electrical energy in the cosmos also teaches us about change and transformation. Stars are born, live, and die in cycles that span millions to billions of years. Their electricity ebbs and flows, influencing the structure of the universe. This dynamic dance is a reminder that change is constant, and energy moves through cycles of creation and destruction. The universe itself is a vast, evolving system of electrical currents, a living, breathing entity in motion. As we listen to this cosmic symphony, we begin to see ourselves as part of it, small notes in the grand orchestra of the universe. The electricity that flows within us is connected to the electricity of the stars, a reflection of the same fundamental force that shapes all matter. This connection invites us to embrace our place in the cosmos, to recognize the shared energy that links us to the distant stars and the very heart of existence. The universe, alive with the electricity, is a song of creation, a melody of light and life that echoes through time and space. As we come to the close of our journey through the electricity of the stars, we find ourselves immersed in the eternal dance of energy that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. The electricity within the stars is not a fleeting spark, but a persistent rhythmic flow, a cosmic heartbeat that pulses through the vastness of space. This dance of energy is the foundation of the universe's very existence, a delicate balance between creation and destruction, light and darkness, order and chaos. The stars, through their glowing electricity, invite us to witness this eternal dance, to marvel at the beauty and complexity of the cosmos. The life cycle of stars is a testament to the power of this dance. From the gentle collapse of a nebula, gathering gas and dust, to the fiery fusion that ignites a newborn star, electricity flows as a vital current. It fuels the star's radiant light, drives its magnetic storms, and sustains its fiery heart. When a star exhausts its fuel, the dance shifts, expanding into a red giant, collapsing into a dense white dwarf, or bursting forth in a brilliant supernova. Each stage is part of the cosmic rhythm, a movement in the endless cycle of birth, life, and death. The electricity of the stars surges and wanes, shaping the universe's evolution in waves of light and energy. This eternal dance is also reflected in the elements that stars create. Within the fiery cores, atoms fuse to form heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, essential building blocks for planets, life, and everything we know. When stars die, they scatter these elements across space, seeding future generations of stars and worlds. The electricity that powered the stars continues its journey in these elements, travelling through time and space to become part of the Earth and of us. We are made of star stuff connected by the electricity that once flowed through distant suns. As you look up at the night sky, you are witnessing a moment in this eternal dance, a snapshot of the universe's ongoing flow of energy and light. The star's electricity reaches you across vast distances, a message of connection, creation, and continuity. It reminds us that we are part of this grand cosmic rhythm, participants in a dance that has no beginning and no end. The electricity of the stars is a quiet force, a gentle pulse that shapes the cosmos and our place within it. This dance of electricity teaches us about resilience and transformation. Just as stars evolve, change, and renew, so too do we. The energy within us flows in rhythms of growth, rest, and renewal. The spark of electricity in our brains mirrors the cosmic currents that light the stars. We carry within us the echoes of the universe's dance, the same electricity that has shaped galaxies and fueled the birth of worlds. In this way, the electricity of the stars is not distant or separate. It is a part of us, a thread woven into the fabric of our being. The stars' eternal dance invites us to embrace change, to find beauty in the flow of energy that moves through all things. It encourages us to see ourselves as part of a vast, interconnected cosmos, a cosmos alive with electricity, light, and life. As the stars continue their silent glow, their electrical hearts pulsing through space, they remind us of the timeless dance that connects us all. This dance is the story of the universe, of endless cycles of light and shadow, of life unfolding in the quiet, electric glow of the cosmos. If you take a moment to sit quietly and feel the pulse of life running through your body, you might begin to sense something extraordinary, a gentle hidden glow that lives deep inside your bones. This light is not one you can see with your eyes, but it is there, a quiet energy that hums softly beneath your skin. It is the light that sustains your body, the force that gives you strength, movement, and life. From the very first moment you were born, this glow has been with you, a steady and faithful companion, pulsing gently through every bone, every cell, and every breath you take. Inside your bones, millions of living cells work tirelessly, renewing themselves, repairing damage, and building strength. These cells, called osteocytes, communicate in a language of electrical signals, sending messages through a complex network that connects every part of your skeletal system. The light you feel is this invisible current of energy, the flow of electricity that powers your bones and keeps them alive. It is a quiet but vital force, like the soft glow of embers in a fire, steady and constant, sustaining you in ways you may never fully understand. But this light is not only about strength or support, it is also connected to the rhythms of the world around you. Just as the stars shine in the night sky and the sun rises each morning, your bones glow with a quiet energy that is linked to the cycles of life. This connection reminds us that we are not separate from the world, but part of it, woven into the vast tapestry of life, light, and energy that moves through everything. The glow inside your bones is a reflection of the universe's own light, a tiny spark of the vast cosmic fire that has burned since the beginning of time. As you feel this light, you might wonder where it comes from. The atoms in your bones, like all matter on Earth, were formed in the hearts of the ancient stars. When these stars exploded in brilliant supernovae, they scattered their elements across the universe. These elements, including calcium and phosphorus, the building blocks of your bones, travelled through space and time, becoming part of the Earth and eventually part of you. The light in your bones is a piece of that ancient stellar fire, a connection to the cosmos that glows quietly within you, a reminder that you are made of star stuff, carried on a river of light and energy. This light is not fixed or static, it flows through your bones, moving in rhythm with your breath, your heartbeat, and the energy of your body. It pulses gently like the ebb and flow of the tides, connecting you to the cycles of nature and life itself. This connection is a source of strength and resilience, reminding us that life is a continuous dance of energy and renewal. The light within your bones is a testament to the living, breathing nature of your body, a soft glow that supports your growth, healing, and movement through the world. The quiet glow inside your bones is a mystery and a miracle, a silent force that keeps you grounded, alive, and connected. It is the light that shines through the darkest moments, the energy that fuels your every step, and the gentle fire that warms your soul. As you sit quietly and feel this light, you become aware of the deep, ancient connection that links you to the earth, the stars, and the endless flow of life. This glow is a reminder that you are part of something much larger, a small but vital spark in the vast, beautiful universe. As we continue to explore the quiet glow inside your bones, we begin to sense that this light is part of a larger rhythm, a pulse that connects you not just to your own body but to the universe itself. This pulse is subtle and steady like the slow beat of a drum, echoing the cosmic rhythms that have shaped life and matter for billions of years. It is a connection to the cycles of the stars, the planets, and the Earth, a rhythm that moves through everything, linking the tiniest atom to the largest galaxy. The light within your bones pulses in harmony with these vast cycles, a reminder that you are woven into the fabric of the cosmos. This connection is reflected in the very atoms that make up your bones. Born in the fiery hearts of ancient stars, these atoms carry with them the energy and memory of the cosmos. When a star explodes, it scatters its elements across the universe, creating clouds of gas and dust that will one day form new stars, planets, and life. The calcium and phosphorus in your bones are part of this cosmic legacy, tiny fragments of stellar light that now pulse softly within you. This pulse is a living reminder of the universe's endless dance, a beat that has continued since the dawn of time and flows gently through your body. Within your bones, the cells themselves follow this pulse. Osteocytes and other bone cells communicate through electrical signals, sending messages that regulate growth, repair, and adaptation. These signals are part of a complex system that keeps your bones healthy and responsive, allowing them to strengthen and reshape in response to the demands of your body and environment. The light inside your bones is more than a metaphor. It is a real, measurable flow of electrical energy that sustains the living tissue and guides its continual renewal. This pulse is the heartbeat of your skeletal system, a quiet but essential force that supports your every movement. The rhythm of this light is also intertwined with your own biological cycles. Your bones respond to the ebb and flow of hormones, the changing seasons, and the rhythms of sleep and wakefulness. This means that the light within you is not isolated but connected to the whole of your being, body, mind, and spirit. It moves in time with your breath, your heartbeat, and the cycles of day and night, aligning you with the natural world. This harmony brings balance and vitality, a sense of being at home in your body and in the universe. As you become more aware of this pulse, you may begin to feel a deep sense of connection and belonging. The light within your bones is a beacon, guiding you through the quiet moments of life and reminding you of the vast, interconnected web of existence. It is a source of strength and calm, a gentle current of energy that flows beneath the surface, sustaining you and linking you to the stars, the earth, and the endless rhythm of life itself. This pulse is a song without words, a silent melody that plays softly in the background of your being, inviting you to listen and to be present. The pulse of the universe within your bones is a sacred rhythm, one that carries the wisdom of ages and the promise of tomorrow. It is a rhythm that transcends time and space, a dance of light and energy that flows through all living things. As you feel this pulse, you're reminded that you are part of something much greater, a vast, beautiful cosmos alive with light, energy, and endless possibility. The quiet glow inside your bones is a reflection of this cosmic dance, a gentle light that shines within you, guiding your journey and connecting you to the infinite. As we draw our story to a close, we return to the gentle light that lives deep within your bones, a light that is both a source of strength and a quiet guide. This light is more than just energy or electricity. It is a symbol of life's resilience, a reminder that within you burns a spark that connects you to the universe and to the timeless flow of existence. It is the light that supports you in every step, that anchors you when the world feels uncertain, and that illuminates the path ahead when the way seems unclear. This light within your bones is shaped by the countless moments of your life, the joys and sorrows, the growth and healing. Like the stars that have birthed the elements of your body, this light is ancient, woven from the fabric of the cosmos and carried through time to you. It glows quietly beneath your skin, steady and patient, reflecting the ebb and flow of your breath and the rhythm of your heartbeat. It is a source of calm energy, a light that you can always return to, no matter where life takes you. The glow inside your bones is also a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Just as your bones carry the memory of the stars, they also carry the stories of the earth, the soil beneath your feet, the air you breathe, and the water that flows through your body. This light is a bridge, linking you to the natural world and to the cycles that govern life itself. It invites you to remember that you are part of a larger whole, a living thread in the vast tapestry of life and energy. As you move through your days, the light within your bones pulses softly, a steady companion through all of life's changes. It fuels your strength and supports your healing, reminding you that you are resilient and capable. In moments of stillness, you can feel this light glowing quietly, offering comfort and clarity. It is a gentle presence, one that encourages you to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to reconnect with the steady pulse of life that flows within and around you. The light that lives in your bones is a source of hope and renewal. It teaches us that even in the darkest times, there is a spark that cannot be extinguished, a flame that continues to burn softly and persistently. This light guides us, reminds us of our place in the universe, and connects us to the endless cycles of growth, change, and transformation. It is a beacon of life's enduring power, a quiet glow that shines within each of us, lighting the way forward with gentle strength. As you carry this light within you, you are reminded of the incredible journey that life has taken, from the ancient stars to the earth beneath your feet, to the very cells within your bones. This light is a gift, a living testament to the resilience and beauty of life, and in this light you find not only your strength but your connection to all that is, was, and will be. The glow within your bones is the light of existence itself, a timeless flame that burns quietly, steadily, and endlessly. If you close your eyes and listen closely, you might imagine a vast, invisible current flowing within your mind. This current is made of tiny bursts of electricity, racing through a complex network of cells called neurons. These electrical impulses are the language of your brain, the silent messages that carry your thoughts, memories, and emotions. This invisible current is what allows you to experience the world, to feel, to learn, and to dream. Though unseen, it is one of the most powerful forces inside you, a delicate dance of energy that sparks every moment of awareness. Inside your brain, billions of neurons communicate through electrical signals that leap across tiny gaps known as synapses. These signals travel at incredible speeds, forming patterns that shape your understanding of the world. Each thought you have, each feeling you experience is the result of this intricate electrical activity. This current of electricity is not static. It flows and changes with every new experience, adapting to the rhythms of your mind and body. It is a constant, gentle pulse that animates your consciousness, and connects you to everything around you. Imagine the first spark of a thought, a tiny electrical pulse firing in a single neuron. This spark ignites a chain reaction, spreading through networks of neurons, creating waves of activity that light up different regions of the brain. These waves are the building blocks of your ideas, the foundation of your memories, and the essence of your creativity. The electricity in your brain is a quiet river of light, flowing beneath the surface, weaving together the tapestry of your inner life. It is a rhythm that never stops, a pulse that sustains the very essence of who you are. This electrical dance within your brain is shaped by your emotions and experiences. Joy, fear, curiosity, and calm all influence the patterns of electrical activity, shifting the way signals flow through your neural networks. These changes affect how you perceive the world, how you respond to challenges, and how you connect with others. The electricity of thought is deeply intertwined with your feelings, coloring every moment with nuance and depth. It is the current that brings life to your inner world, the gentle spark that lights your path. The power of this invisible current extends beyond your thoughts and feelings. It controls your movements, coordinates your senses, and keeps your body functioning smoothly. Without this electrical flow, your muscles would remain still, your heart would cease to beat, and your breath would fade away. Every motion, every sensation, every reaction depends on this delicate current, flowing seamlessly through your nervous system. It is the hidden force that binds body and mind, creating a harmonious dance of life. Despite its incredible power, the electricity of thought remains a mystery. Scientists continue to explore how these electrical signals create consciousness, how they give rise to awareness and selfhood. Some believe that consciousness emerges from the complex patterns of electrical activity, while others ponder deeper mysteries. This invisible current is a silent light within you, inviting curiosity and wonder, a gentle reminder of the profound beauty of being alive. As we journey deeper into the electricity of thought, we enter a world of constant motion and change, the flow of the mind itself. Within the intricate networks of neurons, electrical signals pulse and dance in a rhythm that is both delicate and powerful. This flow is the essence of consciousness, the stream that carries your awareness from one moment to the next. It is a dance of light and energy, weaving thoughts, memories, and feelings into the fabric of your being. The flow of electricity in the brain is never still. It moves like a river, sometimes rushing, sometimes gentle, always carrying the current of your inner world forward. Imagine this flow as a river winding through a vast landscape. Each neuron is a point along the shore, sending signals like ripples across the water. These ripples interact, creating waves of electrical activity that sweep through the brain's different regions. When you focus your attention, when you learn something new, or when you recall a memory, the flow shifts, changing course, forming new pathways. This dynamic movement allows your brain to adapt and grow, rewiring itself with every experience. This adaptability, called neuroplasticity, is the foundation of learning and healing, a testament to the brain's incredible flexibility. The flow of electricity is also a conversation, a language without words but full of meaning. Neurons send messages through bursts of electrical energy, communicating with each other across synapses. Chemical messengers called neurotransmitters help carry these signals, ensuring that the conversation is clear and precise. This intricate communication shapes everything from your perceptions to your emotions, from your decisions to your creativity. The flow of the mind is a symphony of electrical impulses and chemical signals, harmonizing to create the rich experience of being alive. Yet this flow is not always smooth. Disruptions can occur when electrical signals misfire or when neurotransmitter levels shift. These interruptions can affect mood, memory, or cognition, reminding us how delicate the balance within the brain truly is. But even in moments of disruption, the brain's flow seeks to restore harmony, forging new connections and pathways. This resilience is a reflection of the living, dynamic nature of the mind, a flow that never ceases, continually evolving with the rhythm of life. The flow of the mind connects you to the wider world. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions emerge from this electric current, linking your inner experience to the outer world. This connection is a bridge, allowing you to move through life with awareness and intention. The electricity of thought is not isolated. It is part of the continuous flow of energy that moves through the cosmos, a reminder that you are both unique and deeply connected to everything around you. As you become aware of this flow, you may sense a profound sense of wonder and peace. The electricity of thought is the light that illuminates your path, the current that carries your story forward. It invites you to embrace the rhythm of your mind, to listen to the silent dance within, and to marvel at the mystery of consciousness. The flow of the mind is a river of light, endlessly moving, endlessly alive, a gentle force that shapes the journey of your life. As we gently come to the close of our exploration, we find ourselves resting in the soft glow of awareness. The light born from the electricity of thought. This light is not a sudden blaze, but a steady, gentle illumination that shines within you, guiding your understanding and connecting you to the world around you. It is the quiet presence that allows you to be present, to reflect, and to recognize the flow of life as it moves through you. This light of awareness is the heart of consciousness, the spark that brings your inner world to life and weaves the threads of experience into the tapestry of being. Imagine this light as a gentle lantern carried deep within your mind, softly illuminating the winding paths of your thoughts and memories. It casts a warm glow on your feelings, allowing you to understand and embrace them with kindness and clarity. This light reveals the beauty of your inner landscape, the valleys of calm, the hills of joy, and the gentle rivers of contemplation. It invites you to slow down, to breathe, and to witness the unfolding story of your consciousness with gentle curiosity and compassion. The light of awareness is also a beacon of resilience. In moments of darkness, confusion, or fear, this light remains, flickering quietly, offering comfort and hope. It reminds you that even when thoughts seem scattered or overwhelming, the spark of consciousness persists, steady and unbroken. This resilience is the essence of being human, the capacity to face challenges, to heal, and to grow. The electricity of thought is a living light that sustains you, a force that carries you through the complexities of life with grace and strength. This light connects you deeply to your body and the world beyond. It pulses in harmony with your breath, your heartbeat, and the rhythms of nature. It links you to the gentle flow of the seasons, the cycle of day and night, and the vast dance of the cosmos. Through this connection, you become part of a larger whole, a web of life and energy that spans the universe. The electricity of thought is not isolated but intertwined with all existence, a shared current of light and life. As you rest in this light, you may feel a sense of peace and wonder, a quiet knowing that you are both unique and connected, a vibrant spark in the endless flow of energy that animates all things. The light of awareness invites you to embrace the mystery and beauty of consciousness, to honor the gentle currents of electricity that shape your mind, and to find comfort in the steady glow that guides your way. This light is a sacred gift, a gentle reminder of the profound miracle of being alive. The journey through the electricity of thought is never-ending, a continuous unfolding of light and energy. Each moment adds to the vibrant mosaic of your mind, enriching your experience and deepening your connection to the world. As you carry this light within you, you become a part of the grand, silent symphony of consciousness, a dance of electricity, awareness, and life that has been unfolding since the dawn of time and will continue into the endless future. If you stand quietly in an ancient forest, you might feel the gentle presence of trees that have witnessed centuries. These whispering giants hold secrets in their bark and branches, memories etched deep within their rings. Though they seem silent, the trees carry a language of time and life, a quiet memory that connects the past to the present. Each tree is a living archive, its rings recording years of sunshine and shadow, storms weathered and seasons past. This memory is not written in words but held in the very wood and sap that pulse with life. The trees remember the changing seasons, the first spring rain, the blazing summer sun, the crisp autumn winds, and the silent blanket of winter snow. These cycles shape their growth, each ring a page in their living story. As the years pass, the trees absorb lessons from their environment, adapting to shifts in climate, the arrival of new creatures, and the slow dance of the earth beneath them. Their memory is a testament to resilience and transformation, a silent witness to the ongoing story of life on this planet. Beneath the surface, the roots of the trees form a hidden network, a subterranean web that connects them in a vast community. Through this network, trees communicate and share resources, exchanging nutrients and warning each other of dangers. This underground conversation is a form of memory, a way for the forest to remember and respond collectively. When one tree is threatened, others adjust and support, demonstrating a profound interconnectedness that stretches across the forest floor. This memory is carried not only through roots but through the air as well. Trees release chemicals into the atmosphere, messages that signal changes or threats, calling upon insects or other animals to help defend them. These signals travel on the wind, spreading the memory of the forest far and wide. It's as if the trees are storytellers, sharing their wisdom and experiences through the language of scent and gas, creating a living dialogue that shapes the life around them. The memory of the trees is also reflected in their seeds, which carry the genetic stories of their ancestors. Each seed holds the blueprint of the tree's past, the adaptations that have allowed it to survive and thrive. When these seeds take root, they continue the legacy, growing new trees that will remember and add to the forest's story. This cycle of growth and renewal is the heart of the forest's memory, a never-ending thread that links generations. As you breathe in the fresh air of the forest, you're inhaling more than oxygen. You're taking in the essence of the tree's memory, the accumulated wisdom of centuries. The forest is alive with this quiet history, a living museum of growth, change and connection. In this way, the trees teach us about endurance and the gentle power of memory, a reminder that life is a continuum, woven together by countless small moments that build the fabric of time. As we venture deeper into the heart of the forest, we begin to uncover the remarkable web of life hidden beneath the soil. The memory of the trees extends far beyond the sturdy trunks and whispering leaves. It lives in the intricate underground network of roots and fungi known as the mycorrhizal network. This living web connects individual trees and plants, enabling them to share nutrients, water, and even information. The forest, in this way, is not just a collection of separate trees, but a vibrant community that remembers and responds together. This underground network functions like a natural internet, carrying chemical signals and electrical impulses that help trees communicate. When one tree is injured or threatened by pests, it can send warning messages through this network, prompting nearby trees to bolster their defenses. This shared memory enhances the resilience of the entire forest, enabling it to adapt and survive in the face of changing conditions. The mycorrhizal network is a testament to the deep intelligence and cooperation embedded in nature, a silent symphony of connection and care. Through this network, trees also share resources. When some trees have access to more sunlight and nutrients, they can support younger or weaker trees by transferring sugars and minerals through their root connections. This generosity ensures the health and balance of the forest ecosystem. The memory held in these exchanges is a living history of survival, growth, and mutual support, passed along with every transfer. It is a reminder that life thrives not through competition alone, but through collaboration and shared strength. Above the ground, the forest continues its silent communication. The rustling of leaves, the patterns of growth, and the timing of flowering and fruiting all tell stories of past seasons and environmental changes. Trees respond to the signals they receive from their neighbors and the wider ecosystem, adjusting their growth and behavior to maintain harmony. This above-ground memory works in tandem with the underground network, creating a holistic system that allows the forest to move as one living entity. Animals too play a vital role in the forest's memory. Birds, insects and mammals act as messengers and gardeners, spreading seeds and pollens, maintaining the cycle of renewal. Their movements connect different parts of the forest, weaving a larger web of life that carries memories across generations. The forest remembers these interactions, adapting its rhythms to the presence and behavior of its animal inhabitants. This dynamic relationship enriches the forest's story, adding layers of complexity and vitality. Together, the underground network, the visible growth above, and the animals within create a forest that is alive with memory and communication. It is a place where every part is connected, where the past informs the present, and where cooperation nurtures life. The memory of the trees is not static but fluid, a living process that shapes the forest's future. It invites us to see nature not as a backdrop to our lives, but as a deeply intelligent, interconnected community that holds wisdom for all who listen. In embracing the forest's living network, we begin to understand our own place within the web of life. The memory of the trees teaches us about resilience, connection, and the power of shared existence. It is a reminder that our well-being is intertwined with the health of the natural world, and that by nurturing these connections, we nurture ourselves. The forest's memory is an ancient song echoing through roots and branches, inviting us to join in its quiet, enduring harmony. As we come to the close of our journey through the memory of the trees, we find ourselves standing amidst a forest that is both ancient and alive, a place where the past and present are woven seamlessly together. The legacy of the forest is held in the towering trunks, the whispering leaves, and the roots that reach deep into the earth. Each tree carries the stories of generations, a living testament to resilience, adaptation, and the quiet power of memory. This legacy is not just about survival, but about thriving in harmony with the changing world around it. The rings within each tree tell a tale of time, years of growth, seasons of plenty and hardship, moments of calm and storm. These rings are not merely markers of age, they are pages in a storybook written by the environment, by the weather, and by the life that the tree has witnessed. The forest's legacy is inscribed in these rings, a silent chronicle that connects each tree to its ancestors and to the land. It reminds us that life is a continuous thread, woven from countless moments that shape the present and guide the future. When a tree falls, its legacy does not end. The fallen giant returns to the earth, nourishing the soil and creating space for new life to emerge. It becomes a foundation for seedlings, a home for countless creatures, and a vital part of the forest's cycle of renewal. This transformation is a powerful symbol of the forest's resilience, a reminder that endings are also beginnings. The legacy of the trees is one of constant change and regeneration, a dance of life that continues across generations. The forest's legacy is also a lesson in connection. The stories carried by the trees are shared through the living networks beneath the soil and through the life that thrives among the branches. This web of life is a delicate balance, one that sustains not only the trees, but the entire ecosystem. The forest teaches us that our strength lies in our relationships, in the ways we support and nurture one another. Its legacy is a call to honor these connections and to live with respect for the world around us. As we walk through the forest, we become part of its ongoing story. Our footsteps join those of countless others who have passed through this living landscape. The memory of the trees invites us to listen, to learn, and to carry forward the wisdom they hold. It reminds us that we are not separate from nature but deeply intertwined with its rhythms and cycles. The forest's legacy is a gift, an enduring presence that nurtures life and inspires wonder. In embracing the forest's memory, we embrace our own place in the world. We learn that life is a shared journey, a tapestry of memories and experiences that bind us to each other and to the earth. The trees, in their quiet strength, offer us a vision of resilience, hope, and the beauty of living in harmony. Their legacy is a light that guides us, a whisper that carries through the ages, reminding us of the timeless dance of life. If you stand quietly in a garden at dawn, you may notice the subtle movements of plants as they greet the new day. Leaves unfurl slowly, flowers open gently, and stems stretch toward the rising sun. These delicate actions are part of a silent natural clock that governs the lives of plants, an internal rhythm that helps them count the hours and know when to grow, rest, or bloom. This clock is not made of gears or hands, but of cells and chemicals that respond to light, temperature, and time, creating a precise and gentle cycle that keeps plants in harmony with the world around them. Plants are remarkable timekeepers, guided by an internal system known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm, like a quiet heartbeat, runs on a roughly 24-hour cycle, syncing with the day and night outside. Deep within their cells, plants have molecular clocks, tiny proteins that rise and fall in concentration, marking the passage of time. These clocks tell plants when to open their leaves to catch the morning sun, when to close them as evening falls, and when to bloom in perfect harmony with the seasons. The circadian rhythm is an invisible guide, ensuring that every movement is timed just right. Imagine the leaf of a plant as a tiny wristwatch, ticking softly with the pulse of the day. As sunlight filters through the branches, plants sense the changing intensity and quality of light, adjusting their internal clocks accordingly. This sensitivity to light allows them to anticipate dawn and dusk, preparing their cells for photosynthesis or rest. The gentle opening and closing of leaves are not random but carefully timed responses to the world's rhythms, a dance choreographed by millions of years of evolution. The circadian rhythm in plants also influences how they respond to other environmental cues. Temperature changes, moisture levels, and even the presence of other plants can affect the timing of growth and flowering. This intricate system helps plants optimize their energy use, conserve water, and protect themselves from stress. By counting the hours and anticipating the cycles of nature, plants ensure their survival and success in a changing world. This natural clock is not isolated within individual plants, but is part of a larger ecosystem rhythm. When entire forests or fields respond to light and time together, they create waves of movement and energy that ripple through the environment. The synchronous blooming of flowers, the coordinated opening of leaves, and the collective release of scents are all expressions of this shared timing. It is as if the plants are quietly speaking to one another through their rhythms, creating a living chorus of timekeeping that shapes the life of the earth. The silent clock of plants reminds us that time is woven deeply into the fabric of life. It is not just a human invention, but a universal rhythm that guides all living things. By tuning into this rhythm, plants move with the natural flow of the world, embodying a grace and wisdom that has been honed through countless cycles of day and night, season and year. Their internal clocks are gentle teachers, showing us the beauty of timing, patience, and harmony. As you observe the subtle movements of plants, you are witnessing a profound connection to time itself, a living clock that marks the passage of hours with quiet precision. This connection invites us to slow down, to be present, and to honor the natural rhythms that shape our world. The plant's silent clock is a reminder that time is not just measured by watches and calendars, but by the gentle unfolding of life, the rising and setting of the sun, and the steady pulse of the earth. As we follow the silent clock of plants deeper into their world, we discover a delicate dance between light and time that shapes every moment of their lives. The rhythm of day and night flows through the leaves, guiding their growth, their rest, and their blooming. This dance is a subtle interplay of photons and molecules, where light acts as a gentle conductor, setting the pace for the internal clock. The leaves and flowers respond with quiet grace, moving and changing in time with the sun's journey across the sky. Within the cells of plants, special pigments called photoreceptors detect the presence and quality of light. These photoreceptors are the eyes of the plant, sensitive to the changing colors and intensity of sunlight. As dawn breaks, they awaken, signaling to the molecular clock to begin its cycle. Throughout the day, the photoreceptors continue to track the sun's path, sending messages that help the plant anticipate the coming night. This intricate system allows plants to prepare for darkness, conserving energy and slowing their processes in harmony with the world around them. The molecular clock within plants is a master of timing. It regulates gene expression, activating and deactivating thousands of genes in a daily rhythm. These genes control everything from photosynthesis to hormone production, ensuring that each function occurs at the optimal time. This precise timing maximizes the plant's efficiency, allowing it to make the most of sunlight, water, and nutrients. It is a silent, invisible rhythm that orchestrates the symphony of life within the plant, a rhythm that has evolved over millions of years. Temperature also plays a role in this dance. As the day warms and cools, the plant's clock adjusts, fine-tuning its cycles to the changing environment. This sensitivity to temperature helps plants survive in diverse climates, from the hottest deserts to the coldest forests. The interplay between light and temperature creates a dynamic system that keeps plants in tune with the seasons, guiding their growth and flowering to the perfect moments in the year. Beyond the individual plant, this dance extends into the community. In a meadow or forest, plants synchronize their rhythms, creating waves of activity that move through the landscape. The opening of flowers at dawn, the closing of leaves at dusk, and the coordinated release of fragrances all contribute to the ecosystem's harmony. This collective timing enhances pollination, growth, and survival, showing that the dance of light and time is not just an individual performance but a communal celebration. The dance of light and time teaches us about patience and attentiveness. Plants show us how to move with the natural flow, to respond to subtle changes, and to embrace the cycles that govern life. Their rhythms remind us that time is not a rigid line, but a living, breathing force that connects all things. By watching the plants dance, we learn to appreciate the beauty of timing, the importance of rest, and the quiet power of nature's cycles. As the sun rises and sets, the plants continue their dance, a timeless rhythm that sustains life on Earth. This dance of light and time is a gentle reminder that we too are part of this larger cycle, moving with the rhythms of the world, growing, resting, and blooming in our own time. The silent clock of plants invites us to slow down, to listen, and to find harmony in the steady, beautiful flow of life. As our journey with the silent clock of plants comes to a gentle close, we find ourselves surrounded by the quiet wisdom that plants hold, a wisdom shaped by millions of years of evolution and an intimate connection to the rhythms of the earth. The internal clocks within their cells are not just mechanisms of survival, they are teachers of harmony, patience, and balance. Through their precise timing and gentle responses to light and temperature, plants show us the art of moving gracefully with the cycles of life. This wisdom is woven into every leaf that unfurls at dawn and every flower that blooms in its perfect season. The plant's ability to count the hours and anticipate change is a reflection of the deep intelligence of nature, a natural knowing that flows quietly beneath the surface of life. They remind us that time is not simply something to measure, but something to live with, to feel, and to honor. In their silent dance with light and darkness, plants embody a patience that is both ancient and ever-present, a steady rhythm that carries life forward. The circadian rhythms of plants also teach us about resilience. Just as plants adjust to the shifting seasons and changing climates, we too can learn to adapt to the changes in our own lives. The gentle clock within each plant encourages us to find balance between activity and rest, growth and stillness. This balance is essential for health and well-being, a lesson written in the very fabric of life itself. The silent clock of plants invites us to embrace these cycles, to trust in the natural flow, and to find peace in the steady passage of time. Beyond their individual rhythms, plants also remind us of our connection to the larger world. Their synchronized cycles create a living chorus that supports entire ecosystems, from pollinators drawn by the timing of flowering to the soil enriched by falling leaves. The plant's timing weaves together a tapestry of life, a shared rhythm that sustains the earth and all its inhabitants. This interconnectedness is a profound lesson, one that urges us to recognize our place within the natural order and to live with greater awareness and care. As we watch the plants move through their cycles, we come to appreciate the quiet power of time, not as a force that rushes us forward, but as a gentle current that guides growth, healing, and renewal. The silent clock within plants is a source of hope and inspiration, a reminder that life unfolds in its own time, with grace and intention. By tuning into this rhythm, we can learn to live more fully, more patiently, and more harmoniously with the world around us. In the end, the memory of plants, their internal clocks, their timing, their dance with light and darkness, is a gift. It is a call to slow down, to listen, and to honor the natural cycles that shape all life. The plants teach us that time is a living, breathing presence, one that carries the wisdom of the past, the promise of the future, and the beauty of the present moment. Their silent clocks beat steadily, a gentle heartbeat that connects us all, inviting us to join in the timeless dance of life. Time, they say, is a river that never stops, endlessly winding through the landscape of our lives. We hear its quiet whispers in the ticking of clocks, in the deep, soft rhythms of our own breathing, in the rise and fall of the sun. But if we listen closely, we can begin to wonder, is it real, this river? Or is it a trick of the light, a shadow we have learned to follow, even though we cannot touch it? Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a wide, still lake, its surface smooth as glass. The air around you is still, calm. You watch the water, but you don't see it moving. And yet the shore is always a little further away than you remember, just like the moments of your life always seem to pass just beyond your reach. Time, too, is a river that carries us, though we may not always notice the current. Some say that time is like a river, rushing onward, unyielding. Others suggest that it is not a flow at all, but a series of still points, like snapshots in a photo album, each moment locked in place, separate and unchanging. In this view, time is not so much a river as a collection of moments, each one fixed in its place, but no more real than the picture of a river captured in a frame. These two ideas, time as an endless flow, or time as a series of frozen moments, seem to pull in different directions, much like the two ends of a dream. But is it possible that neither of them is quite right? Could time in truth be something we have misunderstood entirely? The scientists who have studied time have asked these very questions for centuries. They have discovered that the way we experience time is not always the way time behaves in the grand design of the universe. In our everyday lives, time feels like an endless march forward, one second after another, stretching out like the hours between morning and evening. Yet when we look at the way the universe works at its deepest level, we find that time is much more fluid, more mysterious than we could ever imagine. Let us begin by drifting into the world of the very small, the realm of atoms, particles, and the strange quantum dance that takes place within them. Imagine you are looking through a tiny window into this invisible world. The particles here do not march forward in a steady line, like the hands of a clock. Instead, they exist in a state of possibility, appearing and disappearing in ways that defy our understanding. These particles, so small that we cannot see them with our eyes, seem to move in and out of time. They do not follow the same rules that govern our daily experience. For them, time does not seem to flow the way we expect. In the quantum world, events don't always happen in a clear, linear order. Instead, they might unfold all at once, or perhaps not at all, depending on how we look at them. And the deeper we look into the mysteries of this tiny, hidden world, the stranger time becomes. In some ways, it seems to bend and stretch, like a fabric being pulled in every direction at once. A moment in this world can seem to last for an instant, and yet, in the blink of an eye, that moment might expand to fill an eternity. As we leave the microscopic world behind and step back into the vastness of the universe, time continues to twist and turn in ways that feel both familiar and strange. Here, in the realm of stars and galaxies, time is not the unchanging river we once thought it was. In fact, time is not only a river, it can be stretched, compressed, and even bent by the very forces that shape our universe. The truth is, time behaves differently depending on where you are and how fast you're moving. Imagine you are standing on the surface of Earth, feeling the weight of gravity pulling you gently down towards the ground. You look up to the sky, and the stars seem to shimmer, far away, as if caught in a delicate web of space. Time for you moves in one direction, from the present moment into the future. But now, picture yourself in a very different situation. You are aboard a spaceship zooming through the cosmos at nearly the speed of light. If you were able to look back at Earth from this vantage point, something extraordinary would happen. The passage of time for you would begin to behave strangely. The faster you travel, the slower time would seem to move for you compared to those who remain on Earth. This effect is called time dilation, and it is one of the most fascinating and bewildering aspects of the universe. Time dilation happens because in Einstein's theory of relativity, space and time are not separate entities. They are woven together into a single fabric called space-time. Imagine this fabric as a great stretching sheet that covers everything: the stars, the planets, even you. When you move through space-time, your speed and the strength of gravity affect how you experience time. The faster you travel or the stronger the gravity, the more time will stretch or squeeze. It's as if time itself responds to the forces around you, like a delicate elastic band bending and folding in response to your movements. For someone traveling near the speed of light, every moment might seem to pass normally for them, but to someone on Earth, time would appear to slow down for the traveller. This means that the traveller, in a sense, could leap forward into the future without aging as quickly as those they left behind. It's a strange and somewhat unsettling thought. A person might take a journey through space and return home to find that far more time has passed on Earth than they experienced themselves. It's as though they have stepped outside of the flow of time, slipping through its cracks, moving through moments at their own pace. Yet even as we marvel at these strange effects, we must remember that time is not just a playful trick of relativity or the quantum world. It is deeply embedded in our own experience of life. We feel its presence every day. We feel the way time tugs at us, reminding us of how things change. It is time that carries us through the seasons with their soft rhythms of growth and decay. It is time that defines the rhythm of our hearts, the way they beat steadily, marking the passage of days and years. But if time can stretch and bend so easily in the cosmos, If it can be so altered by gravity and speed, how can we be so sure of its true nature? Perhaps, as we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, we will come to understand that time is not a rigid, inflexible force, but something far more fluid and mysterious, an illusion that we have created to help make sense of the world, but not necessarily a force that governs it in the way we think. Could it be that time, like a river, is a comforting illusion designed to help us navigate the complexity of our existence? As we drift deeper into the mystery of time, we begin to see that what we call now is not as simple as it seems. We have always thought of the present as a single clear moment, a point that exists just beyond our fingertips, always slipping away as soon as we try to hold it. But when we look closely, we realize that the present is not a fixed place at all. It is like a thread, weaving its way through a tapestry of past and future. And just like a thread, it is constantly moving, slipping through the fingers of our awareness, caught between memories that fade and dreams that have yet to come. Think about the way you experience time each day. The moment you wake up is already a memory by the time your feet touch the floor. And as the day unfolds, you sense that the moments ahead are already shaping themselves, even before you reach them. It's as though time is constantly folding itself into layers, past and future blending together, all while we live in this delicate middle space, the present, which we can never quite hold on to. In many ways, this fleeting experience of now is what creates the illusion of time. We experience the present as a continuous stream, but when we stop and reflect, we realize that it is only an ever-moving boundary between what has been and what is yet to come. What we think of as time might not even be a flow, but rather the constant interplay of our own memories, perceptions, and expectations. Time, in this sense, might not exist in the way we think it does. Instead, it might be more like a soft wave that ripples through the consciousness, never still, never quite graspable. Now imagine that you could step outside of this flow, stepping out of the river of time, and look at it from a distance. You might find that the past and the future are not as distant from each other as we once believed. If time is indeed a collection of moments, stretching and contracting, bending and folding, perhaps they are all happening at once, like pages in a book, each one separate but contained within the same cover. This idea, known as block time or the block universe, suggests that time as we know it is merely an illusion, a way we interpret a reality that exists beyond our understanding. In this view, all moments, past, present and future, exist simultaneously, like stars scattered across the night sky, each one burning brightly in its own place. As we ponder this idea, we begin to wonder, if time is an illusion, what does that mean for our lives? What does it mean for the choices we make, the memories we cherish, and the moments we fear losing? Could it be that the present is not a fleeting moment we must race to capture, but rather a soft space in which we are free to dream, to create, to be? If time is a mere illusion, then perhaps we can look at life not as a journey from one moment to the next, but as a beautiful, ever-unfolding present, always with us, always real in its own way, even if it isn't quite as we imagined it. And so we return to where we began, at the edge of the river, watching its water flow past us. Time, like that river, may seem real, but in its deepest depths, it may be something entirely different. Perhaps it is not a flow, nor a collection of frozen moments, but something far more subtle, a dance of possibilities that we are part of, without even realizing. Time, after all, might not be something we can measure or control. It might be a reflection of the vast, mysterious universe itself, forever slipping through our fingers, yet always shaping the world around us. As we close this journey through time, we are left with the quiet realization that time is not a simple thing. It is both everything and nothing. It is the breath between moments, the song of the stars, and the shadow of what we will never fully understand. And perhaps in this delicate mystery, we find our truest connection to the universe itself, not as creatures trapped in time, but as travelers passing through it, for a while. In the stillness of your body, beneath the rhythm of your heart and the steady breath that fills your lungs, there is a quiet light that pulses. It's so subtle that you may not even notice it, but it is there, woven into the fabric of your very existence. This light is not something that you can see with your eyes, but it is just as real as the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the coolness of the earth beneath your feet. It is the light of life itself, glowing within you, the gentle spark that drives your cells to work, to grow, to create. Your bones, solid and sturdy, are not just the framework of your body, they are alive, full of energy, filled with a quiet light that pulses through every cell. In each bone there is a rhythm, a beat, a soft hum of life. This light is not just a metaphor, it is real as the atoms and molecules that dance in harmony to create the structure of your being. Every time you move, every time you take a step, you are moving with the energy that flows through your bones, an energy that is as ancient as life itself. The secret behind this light lies in the most fundamental building blocks of life, the cells that make up your bones. These cells are not static like the stone of a mountain. They are active, constantly renewing themselves, drawing energy from the food you eat, the air you breathe, and the water that sustains you. Every moment your body is creating new cells, and with them new life, a small but essential light that carries you through the world. These cells, deep within your bones, respond to the world around you, gathering energy from the environment and channeling it into the quiet, steady pulse of life that you feel beneath your skin. But the light within your bones is not confined to the cells themselves. It is part of a much larger story, one that stretches back to the dawn of time. To understand this light, we must first look back at the history of life on Earth, a history that has unfolded over billions of years, shaped by forces that are as old as the stars themselves. In the beginning, life was small, simple, and fragile. It existed in the deep oceans, in the shadows of the Earth's surface, where light was scarce and the world seemed cold and still. But somehow from this darkness, life began to find its way, reaching for the warmth of the sun, drawing energy from the most basic elements, light, water, and air. And over time, life became more complex, evolving into the creatures we know today. The bones that support us, that hold us upright and give us form, are part of this story. They are the legacy of life's journey, shaped by millions of years of adaptation and change. The light in your bones is the result of this long, slow dance of evolution, a quiet, glowing presence that connects you to all life that has come before you. It is as though every cell in your body, every bone, every molecule is a tiny piece of that ancient story, still shining, still living, still growing. But where does this light come from? Some of it, no doubt, comes from the food we eat, the energy we gather from the earth. But there is another kind of light, a deeper, more mysterious light that pulses through every living thing. It is the light of the stars, of the atoms that formed in the furnace of dying suns, the same atoms that are now part of you. This light is older than the bones that hold you, older than the breath that fills your lungs. It is a reminder of the vast interconnected universe, a universe where every living thing is bathed in light, both the light of the stars and the light that lives in your bones, the quiet spark that keeps you moving, growing, and changing. As you stand still, feeling the quiet hum of life in your bones, you may begin to notice something extraordinary. The light that pulses within you is not constant. It shifts, flows, and changes, as if it is part of a dance. This light, this energy within your bones, is not just a passive force. It responds, moves, and transforms with the rhythms of your life, reflecting the cycles of nature that have shaped the world around you for eons. Think about the way the seasons change. Winter yields to spring, and with it the world begins to warm. The days grow longer, and the earth bursts forth with new life. In this cycle, your bones too respond to the passing of time. The energy within them, the light that gives them strength, shifts with the seasons, moving from the quiet stillness of winter into the vibrant energy of spring. It is a subtle shift, but it is there, as if the light within you mirrors the world outside, weaving through the fabric of your being, connecting you to the earth and sky in ways you may never fully understand. This dance of light and shadow is not just tied to the seasons, it is also tied to the rhythms of your own body. The very cells in your bones are constantly renewing, replacing themselves in a slow but steady process. Every few years, your bones shed their old skin and new life takes its place. And as they do, the light within them shifts, flowing like a river through the landscape of your body. In these quiet moments of renewal, it's as if the bones themselves are breathing, pulsing with a light that is constantly reborn. Yet just as the seasons of nature bring both light and darkness, so too does this light within you carry both brightness and shadow. For all the vitality and energy that pulses through your bones, there are also moments of stillness and weariness. Over time, as your bones age, this light can fade. The light that once glowed brightly, filling your bones with the energy of life, may begin to dim. The cells that renew your bones may slow down, and the quiet hum of energy within you may become softer, more distant. But even in the fading light, there is a beauty to behold. For it is in these moments of change that the bones themselves reveal their deepest strength. The energy may soften, but it does not disappear. It shifts, finds new paths to travel, and creates new rhythms. And through this process, the bones continue their dance, ever changing, ever flowing, never truly still. Imagine for a moment the quiet grace of the forest in autumn. The leaves fall one by one, drifting gently to the ground. The trees, though bare, are not without life. Beneath their bark, the energy of life flows, quietly awaiting the return of spring. Your bones, too, follow this rhythm, this dance between light and shadow. Even as they age, they continue to hold the quiet spark of life, waiting for the moments when they will once again be filled with strength and energy. In this way, the light in your bones is not just the energy of your body, but the reflection of something much greater, the timeless dance of life, death, and rebirth that plays out in every part of the universe. From the smallest cells in your body to the stars in the sky, everything is part of this grand cycle, this flowing movement of light and shadow. And as you live your life, as you walk through the world, you are part of that dance, moving through time with the quiet light that pulses in your bones. And so, as we come to the close of this story, we find that the light within you, the light that lives in your bones, is not just a fleeting spark. It is, in a way, eternal, existing in quiet continuity from the moment life began on Earth. This light carries with it the stories of every living being, from the first stirrings of life in the depths of the ocean to the trees that stretch toward the sun, to the creatures who roam across the land. The light in your bones is a thread that weaves through all life, connecting you to every other living thing. It is the same light that once shone in the hearts of the stars, now burning in the cells of your body, filling you with the quiet energy of life. As we look at this light, we may wonder, what does it mean to carry this eternal glow within us? Perhaps it means that we are more connected to the universe than we often realize. Perhaps it means that life is not a solitary journey, but a shared experience, one that transcends time and space. The light in your bones is not just yours, it is the collective energy of all who have come before you and all who will come after. It is a reminder that life in all its forms is part of something larger, something infinitely beautiful and interconnected. In this light, we are not simply individuals moving through time, but part of an ongoing story, a story that began long before our birth and will continue long after our passing. Your bones, the framework that holds you up, are not merely the solid structures of your body. They are the vessels that carry the ancient energy of life itself, passed down through countless generations, stretching back to the very beginning of time. Every step you take is a step in the dance of existence, a quiet movement of light that has been unfolding for billions of years. Perhaps then the light that lives in your bones is a reflection of something more than just your own vitality. It is the embodiment of the universe's gentle pulse, the quiet, eternal rhythm that moves through everything from the smallest grain of sand to the largest star. And as you move through your life, you carry this rhythm with you, a subtle but ever-present glow, reminding you that you are part of a much greater whole. In the end, the light within your bones is not just the spark of life, but the quiet pulse of existence itself, a glow that has existed long before you took your first breath and will continue long after you have left this world. It is the whisper of the stars, the song of the earth, the energy that connects all living things, now and forever. And so, as you continue your journey through life, take a moment to pause and feel that light within you, steady and strong. It is the light that will always be with you, carrying you through every moment, every breath, and every step. In the end, it is this quiet, enduring light that connects you to everything past, present, and future, reminding you that you are never truly alone in the world. If you step outside into the warmth of the day, you might notice something curious. The trees stand tall, their leaves shimmering in the sunlight, but if you look closely, you'll see that they are moving ever so slightly, almost as if they're reaching toward the sun. then resting, then reaching again. It's as though they have their own rhythm, a gentle, unhurried dance that speaks to something much deeper. But what if I told you that these plants, these leaves, are not just stretching toward the light by chance? What if they are following a silent clock, ticking away the hours, guiding them in ways we cannot hear, yet they feel, deep within their veins? Plants, it seems, are not only passive creatures that stand still, waiting for the world to pass them by. They are active participants in a grand cycle of life, their movements finely tuned to the passing of time. And in a way that is both beautiful and mysterious, they seem to be keeping track of the hours, not in the way we would with a ticking clock, but in a more subtle and intimate way, one that connects them to the rhythms of the earth and the sky. This quiet clock that plants follow is not something we can easily see, but it is something we can feel if we learn to listen with the quiet of the natural world. The secret rhythm of the leaves lies in something we might not notice at first, their ability to track the sun. It is called photoperiodism, and it refers to how plants sense the length of day and night, using this information to time their growth, flowering, and even their sleep. As the day stretches into night and the seasons shift in their slow, unhurried dance, the plant feels these changes, adjusting itself accordingly. Its leaves know when the sun is high in the sky, when to open up and absorb the warmth, and when the sun begins to set, when to close and rest. This rhythm, this dance with time, is a quiet one, but it is far from random. The plants, though silent, have learned the language of time. The subtle signs of the earth's turning, the slow shift of light and shadow, and the deep hidden cycle that has been unfolding for millions of years. As the plant opens its leaves to greet the sunlight, it is not only absorbing the light needed for photosynthesis, it is also marking time in its own quiet way. It is counting the hours, following a clock made of sunlight, and using that knowledge to thrive in its place on the earth. But this is not a one-way relationship. Just as the plant follows the movement of the sun itself responds to the plant, shaping the growth patterns, the flowering cycles, and even the colours of the leaves. The plant's movements are part of a larger, harmonious rhythm, a dance that stretches across the entire living world, guiding each organism in its own way. So the next time you find yourself walking through a forest or standing beside a garden, pause for a moment and observe the quiet motions around you. The leaves that seem to be still may, in fact, be dancing to a rhythm of their own, a rhythm that is as ancient and enduring as time itself. They are not simply growing by chance, they are following a clock, one that ticks not in seconds but in the language of light, shadow, and the steady heartbeat of the earth. It is a rhythm that has shaped the lives of plants for as long as life has existed on this planet, and it is one that continues to guide them with quiet precision. As we continue to wander through the world of plants, we begin to notice that their relationship with time is not just a simple response to the sun's journey across the sky. There is something much deeper at play, something that connects them to the very heartbeat of the seasons. The plants, in their quiet wisdom, are not merely reacting to the present moment, but they are following the subtle rhythms of the seasons themselves, a rhythm that is as old as the earth. It is as if the plants, with their deep roots buried in the soil, can sense the coming and going of the seasons, like the breath of the planet itself. This rhythm, this dance with time, is most evident as the year unfolds. In the spring, when the days grow longer and the warmth of the sun returns, plants awaken from their winter slumber. But it is not just the warmth that rouses them. The changing light, the longer days and the shorter nights speak a language the plants understand. They listen, they feel, and they begin their slow and steady growth. The sap flows once more, the buds begin to swell, and the leaves reach out to greet the sun, each moment unfolding in response to the silent signals they have received. But even as the plants reach toward the light, they are also quietly preparing for what comes next. Their deep roots are soaking in the moisture from the earth, and they are storing the energy they will need when the seasons shift once again. They are not just reacting to the present moment, they are anticipating the future, preparing for the quieter, colder days that will follow. In this sense, time for the plant is not linear like it is for us. It is cyclical, a repeating loop of growth, rest and renewal, guided by the slow, unhurried passage of the seasons. The plant knows, deep within its cells, that each moment is not just a reflection of the present, but also a link in a long chain of time that stretches back to the beginning of life itself. When autumn arrives, the plants begin to slow their growth, gently retreating into themselves. The leaves, once full of life and energy, begin to fade. They change colour, as if they are marking the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. The plant, knowing that winter's cold is soon to arrive, pulls its energy inward, conserving its strength for the months ahead. As the light wanes and the nights grow longer, the plant enters a kind of rest. It is as though it has quietly retreated into a deep sleep, waiting for the warmth of spring to return. But even in this quiet slumber, the plant is still counting the hours, following the slow, steady beat of the seasons. It knows that the cycle will turn again, as it always has, and that it will awaken once more when the time is right. This ability to track time, to count the hours in a way that is so subtle and yet so deeply connected to the natural world, is a testament to the incredible wisdom of plants. They do not need clocks or calendars to mark the passage of time. Instead, they rely on the rhythms of nature itself, the changing length of the day, the shift in temperature, the tilt of the earth, to guide them through the cycle of life. They are in tune with the heartbeat of the earth, moving with the seasons, living in harmony with the slow, unhurried flow of time. And as we stand beside the plants, watching them move with the light, with the seasons, we are reminded of our own connection to time. Though we may measure time with clocks and calendars, the plants show us that there is another way to experience it, a way that is deeply connected to the rhythms of the world around us. Time for the plants is not something to be rushed. It is not a linear march, but a gentle ongoing dance with the world, unfolding one quiet step at a time. As we come to the close of this journey through the rhythm of the plants, we begin to see that the time they follow is not something separate from the world around them. Time is not a concept they learn or even fully understand, yet it is woven into every fibre of their being. It is a quiet wisdom, passed down through generations of growth, blooming and rest. The plants have learned over millions of years how to move in harmony with the earth, how to track the hours, not through the ticking of a clock, but through the shifting patterns of the sky, the pulse of the land and the whispers of the wind. As we reflect on the plants' dance with time, we can sense that there is something deeply peaceful about their way of living. They do not rush through the hours, but instead they move with grace, attuned to the quiet flow of the world. Each moment they experience is part of a larger, slower cycle, a cycle that does not push them toward a future, but rather invites them to live fully in each moment. They are not concerned with where time is leading them, only with how they can best grow, how they can open their leaves to the sun, how they can wait patiently for the coming rains. The plants, in their stillness, teach us about the wisdom of patience. We too are caught in the flow of time, rushing from moment to moment, constantly looking ahead, chasing the next task or the next goal. But in the quiet of the plant's world, there is a reminder that time does not have to be something we conquer or control. It can be something we live with, something we move alongside patiently and with grace. The plants show us that just as they follow the rhythm of the earth, we too can find peace in the quiet unfolding of time, if only we learn to listen. Perhaps then the most profound lesson we can take from the plants is their understanding of cycles. For them, time is not a straight line but a repeating circle, a rhythm that returns again and again. The moments of growth and bloom are followed by rest, and the quiet sleep of winter is followed by the return of spring. And in this endless loop there is a deep sense of purpose and knowing that every season has its time and every moment has its place. Just as the plant does not hurry through its life, neither should we rush through ours. The moments we experience, the hours we live, are part of something much larger, a grand, timeless cycle that connects all life, from the smallest seed to the tallest tree. And so, as you stand beside the plants, watching them reach for the sun, feel the quiet wisdom they carry within them. They are not just counting the hours, they are living in the rhythm of the earth itself, listening to the song of the seasons, following the beat of time with the gentleness and grace that we often forget to embrace. The next time you step outside and see a tree swaying in the breeze, or a flower turning its face to the sun, remember that it is not just following the light, it is following the quiet, eternal rhythm of the world, counting the hours in its own peaceful way. If you stand at the edge of the ocean, watching the waves roll in and out, you might feel the rhythm of the water, the steady pulse of its movement, as if the sea itself is breathing. The sound of the waves crashing against the shore is familiar, almost comforting, yet there is something deeper to the ocean than meets the eye. The water that crashes at your feet is not simply part of the present moment, it carries within it the memories of all the waves that have come before, stretching back through time to the very beginning of the earth. Water, it seems, has a memory, a silent echo of the past that ripples through the present, connecting us to the ancient rhythms of the planet. Water, in its many forms, is constantly moving, cycling through the world in a never-ending loop. It rises in clouds, falls as rain, flows through rivers, and then returns to the sea, only to begin the cycle again. But this constant movement is not just a physical process. The water is shaped by everything it touches: the soil, the plants, the creatures that drink from it, the air that moves above it. Each drop of water, no matter how small, carries with it the story of everything it has encountered along its journey. It holds the memory of every place it has passed, every life it has nourished, every stone it has touched. In this way, water is not just a lifeless substance. It is a living record of the world, a quiet keeper of history, one that carries the imprint of everything it has ever been a part of. Imagine for a moment that you are a droplet of water floating high above the earth in a cloud, watching the world unfold beneath you. You feel the wind carry you across vast landscapes, over mountains, through forests, and across oceans. As you travel, you collect small pieces of the world below: the dust of the earth, the heat of the sun, the coolness of the night air. Then, as the cloud grows heavy, you begin to fall, descending through the sky in a gentle, shimmering arc. As you touch the earth, you merge with a river, flowing swiftly across the land, passing by animals, plants, and the soil that holds everything together. Along the way, you soak up the warmth of the sun, the energy of the soil, and the life that surrounds you. But you do not just carry the memory of these places within you. You are also shaped by them. The water you once were, high above the earth, is now transformed by the land it touches. You are changed by the plants that drink from you, by the creatures that swim through you, by the very ground that absorbs you. You are no longer the same drop of water you once were. You are a part of everything, moving and changing with the world around you. And when you finally reach the sea, you do not disappear. You continue to cycle through the world, always carrying the echoes of the places you've been, always holding the memories of the earth in your very molecules. This memory of water, this quiet, invisible record of the world's history, is not just poetic. It is grounded in science. Water molecules, through their constant movement, interact with the world in ways that leave lasting imprints. In the deep, ancient layers of ice, for example, scientists can find air bubbles trapped within the frozen water, tiny, delicate snapshots of the atmosphere that existed thousands or even millions of years ago. These bubbles are not just pieces of frozen air, they are memories, carrying the traces of what life was like long before we walked the earth. They tell us stories of a time when the world was very different, when the air was filled with gases we no longer breathe, when the climate was warmer or colder, when the seas were higher or lower. And as scientists study these frozen memories, they begin to understand the delicate balance of life on Earth and how water has always been a silent witness to the world's changing face. As we continue our journey with water, we find that its memory is not just held in the ice or in the ancient sea, but also in the rivers, streams, and lakes that weave through the landscape like veins of life. These bodies of water carry with them the history of the land they flow through, each current a story, each ripple a whisper from the past. The water in the river is never truly still. It is always moving, carrying particles of the earth, seeds, and bits of life on its back. With each twist and turn and each bend and curve, the river collects pieces of the world around it, storing them in its flow, and gently leaving behind its mark as it passes. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, its water clear and cool as it winds its way through the valley. The water moves with a quiet grace, carrying with it the stories of the mountains from which it has come, the forests through which it has passed, and the fields it has nourished along the way. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the river singing, not in words, but in the way it moves, in the patterns it creates. The water speaks in ripples and swirls, in the steady pull of the current, in the quiet erosion of the banks. Each sound it makes is a memory a reflection of the world it has encountered. And as the water flows forward, it continues to gather and to leave traces, always shifting, always changing. The river is not only a reflection of the places it has been, but it is also a silent participant in shaping the world around it. With every passing moment, the river carves the landscape, its waters wearing down the rocks, pulling the soil along and creating new pathways for itself. This quiet, relentless process is a form of memory too. The river leaves behind not just the particles it carries, but also the changes it has made in the world. The river's path, the way it moves, is shaped by everything it has touched, just as the water it carries has been shaped by the earth beneath it. The memory of the river is alive in the ecosystems it supports. The fish that swim through its currents, the plants that line its banks, and the creatures that drink from its waters all are part of the river's story. Each living thing that interacts with the river carries a piece of the river's history within it, and in turn the river carries a piece of each life it touches. The water remembers the seasons, the rains that brought it to life, the floods that reshaped its course and the droughts that slowed its flow. It remembers the hands of humans who have relied on it, who have drawn from it and shaped their lives around its presence. But the memory of water does not simply exist in the physical world. It reaches into the intangible, into the very rhythms of life. Water is essential for all forms of life, and in its cycles, it mirrors the cycles of living beings. Just as the river ebbs and flows, so too does life move in rhythms of birth, growth, decay, and renewal. The water that nourishes the land, that quenches the thirst of plants, animals, and humans, is the same water that has always been here, constantly cycling through the world. It is the link between the past and the present, the keeper of stories, and the source of life itself. This memory of water, then, is not only a record of the Earth's history, but also a reminder of how deeply interconnected everything is. The water that touches your lips, the water that nourishes the plants and animals around you, is the same water that once fell as rain on ancient lands, the same water that flowed through rivers long before humans walked the earth. And just as water carries the memories of the past, it will continue to carry those memories forward, passing through every living thing, connecting the past with the present, and shaping the future in ways we may never fully understand. As we reflect on the memory of water, we come to realize that it is more than just a silent keeper of history. Water is the very pulse of life. It connects all living beings, from the smallest seed to the tallest tree, from the simplest creatures to the most complex. Without water, life would not be possible. It is in the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, and even in the air around us. Water is everywhere, and in its very essence, it holds the heartbeat of the earth, the rhythm of life itself. Imagine the cycle of water, the way it moves, the way it shifts from liquid to vapor to solid, only to return again in a constant loop. It is a cycle that mirrors the cycles of life. Just as water flows through rivers and oceans, nourishing all it touches, so too does life flow through the world, in a rhythm of birth, growth, death, and renewal. Water is a witness to this cycle, an active participant in it, carrying the stories of every life it touches. And just as it moves through the world, it carries the memory of every life, every moment that has come before. This flow of water, this eternal rhythm, is not just a metaphor for life, it is life itself. In each drop of water is a connection to everything that has come before it. The water that touches the roots of a tree has travelled through countless other places, carrying with it the memory of everything it has encountered. The water that nourishes you has been part of the world for millions of years, cycling through the planet, passing through plants, animals, and the very air we breathe. It is as though water is the very thread that connects all living things, tying them together in a tapestry of life stretching across time and space. And in this connection, water reminds us of something profoundly important. We are all part of something much larger than ourselves. Just as the water moves through the earth, so too do we move through life, carrying with us the stories of everything that has come before. The memories of the past live in our bones, in the very cells of our bodies, as they live in the water that sustains us. The same water that once fell as rain on distant lands now rests in the oceans, where it touches the lives of creatures far away. It flows through the soil, where it nourishes the plants that feed us, and it moves through the air, filling our lungs with breath. Water, then, is not just the source of life, but the bond that unites all life. It is the very heartbeat of the planet, pulsing through every living thing, connecting past, present, and future. It is a quiet witness to the unfolding of time, holding within it the memories of all that has come before and all that will come after. And in this, there is a profound peace, a recognition that we are all part of a larger story, one that is shaped by the flow of water and the rhythms of the earth. As we stand beside a river, feeling the cool rush of water against our skin, or as we watch the rain fall gently from the sky, we are reminded of the quiet, powerful memory of water. It is a memory that stretches back to the beginning of time, and it is a memory that will continue long after we are gone. The water carries us all, from the smallest droplets to the greatest oceans, linking us in a cycle of life that is both eternal and ever-changing. And as we drink from it, as we stand beside it, as we live in its embrace, we are connected to the heartbeat of the earth itself, a heartbeat that has been and will always be the rhythm of life. When you breathe in, deeply and slowly, you may feel a quiet warmth rising from deep within you. It is the same warmth that stirs your blood, that fuels the movement of your muscles, and that fires your mind with thought. This warmth, this energy, is not just a biological process. It is a gentle, invisible light that pulses within you, keeping you alive, keeping you moving, keeping you thinking. It is a fire, but one so subtle that it might go unnoticed, flickering quietly within the deepest parts of your being. This is the light that lives in your bones, the quiet spark of life that pulses through your cells, lighting up your body from the inside. This light is as ancient as life itself. For billions of years, it has been present in the very cells that make up every living being, from the simplest plants to the most complex creatures. It is a light that has travelled through the history of life, passed down from one generation to the next, like a secret flame passed from hand to hand, never extinguished. Every time a heart beats, every time a thought is formed, every time a cell divides, this light is at work, quietly sustaining life, guiding it, nurturing it. But where does this light come from? The answer lies in the deepest workings of the cells that make up your body. Inside each of your cells there are tiny, powerful engines called mitochondria. These mitochondria are like little factories, working tirelessly to produce energy from the food you eat and the air you breathe. As they do their work, they generate a small, quiet current of energy, a spark of light that powers everything you do. This energy is what allows you to move, to think, to feel, to live. Without this light, without the quiet fire burning inside each of your cells, life would not be possible. But the light that lives in your bones is not just the energy of the mitochondria. It is also the result of a delicate dance between your body and the environment around you. You are constantly exchanging energy with the world, drawing in oxygen from the air, absorbing sunlight through your skin, eating food that provides the raw materials for life. Your body takes in these elements and transforms them, using them to power your cells, to fuel the fire that burns within you. This exchange of energy, this constant flow of life, creates a subtle light, a quiet glow that fills your bones and keeps you alive. It is a light that comes from the earth itself, a gift passed down through the ages, from the very beginning of life on this planet. In a sense, your bones are more than just the framework of your body. They are also the vessels that carry the light of life, the energy that sustains you. Every time your heart beats, every time you move, every time you think, this light flows through you, lighting up the pathways of your life. It is the energy that makes you who you are, that allows you to experience the world, to create, to dream, and to grow. The light that lives in your bones is not just a biological process. It is a reflection of the vast interconnected web of life, a quiet reminder that you are part of something much larger, something ancient and eternal. And so, as you go about your day, breathing in the air, feeling the warmth of the sun, eating your meals and moving through the world, remember that this quiet light is always with you. It is the light that flows through every cell of your body, the energy that fuels your every thought and action, the fire that burns within you, keeping you alive and connected to the earth and all its life. This light is yours, and yet it is not just yours. It is a part of the great cycle of life, passed down through the ages, a gift from the universe carried within you every moment of every day. The light that lives within your bones is not confined to your body alone. It is a part of a much larger system, a grand web of energy that stretches beyond the limits of your skin. It flows through the world in an endless exchange, connecting you to the earth beneath your feet, the air that fills your lungs, and the stars that light the night sky. Your body is not a separate thing, but a delicate thread woven into the great tapestry of life. Just as the light in your bones is born from the earth, so too does it flow back into the earth, cycling in a rhythm that has been unfolding for billions of years. It is a light that connects all living things, from the smallest blade of grass to the towering trees, from the animals that roam the land to the birds that soar through the sky. This light is like a quiet current that moves through everything, ever present, ever flowing. It exists in the food you eat, the water you drink, and the air you breathe. Every time you inhale, you take in the energy of the world around you. And when you exhale, you release that energy, passing it back into the world, ready to be transformed into something new. This exchange of energy, this cycle of light, is what sustains life. It is a gentle rhythm of flow that connects all things. The light in your bones is not yours alone. It is a part of this great cycle, a spark that has been passed down from the very beginning of time, moving through every living thing, binding them all together. But how does this energy move? How does the light in your bones connect you to the larger world? It is the flow of energy through the very cells of your body, a process that begins in the mitochondria, the tiny engines within each cell. These engines, as they work to produce energy, create a constant flow of light, like a soft glow in the dark, that moves through your body, carrying the spark of life with it. This light flows through the nervous system, guiding your thoughts, your movements, and your senses. It flows through your bloodstream, nourishing your organs, your muscles, your bones, keeping everything in balance, allowing you to function as one unified whole. But the light in your bones is not simply the product of the cells within your body. It is also the result of your connection to the world around you. The energy you draw from the earth, from the food you eat, the sunlight that bathes you, and the air that fills your lungs, all of these things contribute to the light that flows through you. Your body is a part of the world, just as the world is a part of your body. You're not separate from nature, but a living, breathing part of it, carrying within you the light of life itself. And this light is not just a passive energy, it is a force that drives you, that compels you to grow, to move, to evolve. It is the energy of life flowing in an endless cycle, shaping you, guiding you, and connecting you to the world around you. In every moment, the light in your bones is in motion. It is never still, never stagnant. It moves, shifts, and flows with the rhythm of your life. Every thought, every movement, every breath you take is powered by this energy, and just as the light in your bones moves through you, so too does it move through the world. The plants that stretch toward the sun, the animals that roam the earth, the oceans that swirl in their eternal dance, all of these things are connected by the same flow of energy, the same light that moves through your bones. It is a light that has no boundaries, no edges. It is a force that flows through everything, from the smallest particle of dust to the largest galaxy. It is the pulse of the universe itself, and you are a part of it. As you move through your day, breathing, thinking, feeling, remember that the light in your bones is not just your own. It is a part of the larger world, a spark that connects you to the earth, to the sky, to every living thing. It is the light of life, ever present, ever flowing, ever connecting. And in this light we are all united, bound together in a grand cycle of energy, of life, of light. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration into the light that lives in your bones, we come to a quiet realization. The light within you, this energy that courses through your body, is not simply a product of your physical form. It is the living connection between you and the world around you, the pulse of the universe that flows through all things. It is a reminder that life, in its deepest sense, is not confined to the individual, but is part of a much larger, ongoing cycle of energy and transformation. The light in your bones is not a fleeting spark. It is an eternal flame, passed down from the stars, carried through the ages, and present in every living thing. It connects you to the earth, to the air, to the stars themselves, a quiet, ever-present force that guides you, nourishes you, and sustains you. This flame, this light, has existed long before you took your first breath, and it will continue long after you have passed. It is a part of the grand cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It is the fire that burns within every living being, the spark of life that has been passed from one generation to the next, from the beginning of time. In this light, we find our connection to all life, the plants, the animals, the earth beneath our feet, and the stars above our heads. It is the same light that once burned in the hearts of the first living organisms, and it will continue to burn in the hearts of future generations. The flame is eternal, never truly extinguished, but always shifting, always changing, always renewing itself. In a sense, the light in your bones is not just a part of you. It is the reflection of the entire universe, the quiet pulse of existence itself. The energy that flows through you is the same energy that moves through the stars, the oceans, and the winds. It is the same force that brings life to the earth, that nourishes the plants, that powers the animals, that shapes the course of the universe. Every time you breathe, every time your heart beats, you are connected to this greater flow of energy, part of the vast interconnected web of life that spans across the universe. And as you move through your life, carrying the light within you, you are participating in the eternal dance of existence, a dance that has no end and no beginning, but is always unfolding, always alive. Perhaps then the true meaning of the light that lives in your bones is not simply about sustaining your life, but about remembering your place in the universe. It is a reminder that you are not separate from the world around you, but an integral part of it, connected to all things through the energy that flows within you. Every thought, every action, every moment of your life is a reflection of the light that burns within you. It is a light that binds you to the earth, to the air, to the stars, and to every living thing. It is a flame that has been passed down through the ages, and it will continue to burn long after you have passed, keeping the cycle of life moving forward. So as you go about your days, as you breathe, move, think, and live, remember the quiet light within you. Know that it is not just a part of you, but a part of everything, a spark that connects you to the grand cycle of life, a flame that has been passed from the stars to your bones, a light that will continue to shine forever. It is the light of life, the pulse of the universe, and it is always with you, guiding you, nourishing you, and connecting you to the vast eternal dance of existence. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a vast, quiet ocean, the surface still, shimmering gently in the light. Now imagine that beneath that still surface there is a hidden storm, a delicate but powerful force churning in the depths. This storm is not visible to the eye, but it is there, shaping the ocean, guiding the currents, creating movement where there was once only stillness. In many ways, this hidden force is like the electricity of your mind, a quiet current flowing through your brain, connecting thoughts, memories, and feelings in a way that is as mysterious as it is essential. Within your brain, billions of cells called neurons are constantly at work. They are like tiny messengers passing information back and forth at lightning speed. These neurons are not alone in their task. They are connected to each other through delicate branches called dendrites, which form an intricate web of communication throughout your mind. Together, these neurons create an invisible current, an electric flow, that allows you to think, to dream, to remember, and to create. It is this electricity that powers every thought you have, every decision you make, and every memory that rises to the surface of your consciousness. But just as the ocean has currents that shape its movement, the electricity in your brain is not always constant. It ebbs and flows, shifting with your thoughts, your emotions, and your experiences. At times, this electrical current moves swiftly, like a river racing toward the sea, and at other times, it moves more slowly, like a calm stream winding through a quiet forest. Each spark of electricity is a part of a larger rhythm, one that is shaped by your brain's delicate wiring, the connections that form between neurons with each passing moment. These connections, known as synapses, are the bridges that allow information to travel across your mind, carrying electrical signals from one neuron to another. Each thought you have, from the simplest memory to the most complex idea, is created by the flow of electricity through these synaptic connections. It is as if every thought is a small spark, lighting up a path through the maze of neurons that fill your brain. When you recall a memory, when you make a decision, when you feel a sensation, you're experiencing this current of electricity at work. It is the power that fuels your mind, the force that drives every thought and every action. This electricity is not just the result of your brain's physical structure, but of the intricate dance between your body and the world around you. Every time you experience something, Every time you see, hear, touch, or feel, your brain responds by generating electrical signals, which are then processed, interpreted, and integrated into your consciousness. The electricity of thought is the language of your mind, and it is shaped by the world you live in, the experiences you have, and the way your body responds to those experiences. And yet this electricity is not something you can see, at least not with your eyes. It is a hidden force, one that moves beneath the surface of your awareness, shaping your every thought and action. But though it is invisible, it is no less real. It is the silent storm beneath the still surface of your mind, the current that guides you through life, allowing you to navigate the world and to experience the richness of existence. The electricity of thought is what makes you, you. It is what allows you to think, to feel, to be aware of yourself and of the world around you. It is the spark of life in your mind, the force that powers your very consciousness. As we move deeper into the mysteries of the electricity that powers your thoughts, we begin to see that it is more than just a spark. It is the rhythm, the dance of countless neurons in your brain, each firing in a delicate, harmonious pattern, creating the symphony of thought. Every moment of your life, every experience, every sensation is a part of this delicate dance, this quiet music of the mind. The brain, though it may appear as a mass of soft tissue, is in reality a highly organized orchestra of electrical signals, each one contributing to the song of your consciousness. Picture this for a moment. Within the vast landscape of your brain, there are over 86 billion neurons, each one a tiny conductor of electrical energy. These neurons do not work alone though. They are connected to each other by synapses, the tiny spaces between them where information is passed. When a neuron receives an electrical signal, it sends that signal across the synapse to another neuron, where it is then passed on, creating a cascade of electrical activity. This exchange of signals forms the foundation of thought, of memory, and of perception. It is a process that occurs constantly, without pause, shaping the way you see the world, the way you understand your experiences, and the way you respond to them. Each thought you have is the result of these neurons firing in a specific sequence, their electrical signals creating patterns that correspond to everything from a simple memory to a complex idea. When you recall a familiar face, when you recognize a sound, when you solve a puzzle, all of these moments are the result of electrical impulses traveling across these intricate networks of neurons. It is like a delicate pattern of light that shifts and changes with each passing thought, a beautiful tapestry woven from the invisible threads of electrical energy. But just as music is composed of both melody and silence, so too is the electricity of the mind shaped by moments of stillness. The brain does not always remain in constant motion. There are moments of quiet between the electrical impulses, moments when the neurons pause and rest. These moments of stillness are just as important as the bursts of activity, for it is in these pauses that the brain consolidates its memories, organizes its thoughts, and prepares for the next wave of electrical signals. It is during these moments of calm that the brain reflects, that the mind processes the experiences of the day, and that new connections are formed, strengthening the intricate web of neurons that allow you to think, to grow, and to learn. In this way, the electricity of thought is not simply a series of isolated events, but part of a larger ongoing process. Each burst of electrical energy, each connection between neurons, builds upon the last, creating a network of understanding that is unique to you. It is the subtle dance of neurons that allows you to adapt to the world, to learn new things, and to navigate the ever-changing landscape of your life. And just as the patterns of light shift and change in the quiet depths of the ocean, so too do the patterns of electricity in your brain, constantly adjusting and evolving as you experience the world. At the heart of this process is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself, to form new connections, and to adapt in response to experience. The brain is not a static organ. It is a living, breathing entity that is constantly reshaping itself based on the information it receives. When you learn a new skill, when you encounter something unfamiliar, your brain rewires itself, creating new pathways, new connections, new ways of thinking. It is this fluid, ever-changing quality of the brain that allows you to grow, to adapt, and to continue learning throughout your life. This dance of electrical energy, this intricate web of neuronal connections, is the very essence of thought. It is the quiet symphony that plays within your mind, the music of your consciousness, constantly evolving, constantly changing as it shapes your perceptions of the world. And just as the ocean's currents are ever changing, so too is the electricity in your mind shifting, adapting, and guiding you through the journey of life. As we draw closer to the end of our journey through the electricity of thought, we begin to see the full extent of its potential. The current that moves through your brain is not just the energy that fuels your immediate thoughts, memory, and actions. It is the gateway to endless possibilities. It is in this subtle and hidden current of electricity that the potential for growth, creativity, and even transformation resides. The electricity of thought, ever flowing and constantly shifting, carries within it the power to change the very fabric of who you are. It holds the ability to forge new connections, to rewire your brain, and to open doors to new ways of thinking and being. In many ways, the electricity that flows through your brain is like a river, constantly shaping the land it touches, carving new paths and creating new opportunities. The neurons in your brain, each one a tiny spark of energy, form pathways that guide your thoughts, actions, and memories. But just as a river does not flow in a straight line, neither do the patterns of your thoughts. The current of electricity in your brain is constantly changing, constantly flowing in different directions, creating new pathways and forming new connections. This fluidity is what gives your mind its remarkable capacity for adaptation. With every new experience, every new thought, your brain is reshaped, creating new opportunities for learning, growth, and discovery. Think about the times in your life when you have learned something new, when you have encountered a challenge that pushed you to think in a new way. In those moments, your brain is working in a way that is deeply transformative. The neurons in your brain are firing in new patterns, creating new connections that allow you to see the world in a different light. It is as though the electricity of your mind is unlocking new doors, revealing new possibilities, and expanding the horizons of your understanding. In this sense, the electricity that powers your thoughts is not a static force, but one that is alive with potential, a force that can be harnessed to create, to innovate, and to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible. This potential is not just limited to learning new things. The electricity of your mind also plays a crucial role in your emotional and physical well-being. The connections in your brain are not only responsible for your thoughts and memories, but they also govern your body's responses to stress, joy, and everything in between. When you experience a moment of fear, for example, the electrical signals in your brain trigger a cascade of responses throughout your body. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your body prepares to respond. In moments of peace, the same electrical signals help you to relax, to feel safe, to find a sense of calm. The electricity of thought, then, is not just an abstract force, it is deeply intertwined with the body, influencing not just your mind, but your overall health and well-being. Yet the true power of this electricity lies in its ability to change. Just as the river can change course, so too can the flow of electricity in your brain shift and adapt. With conscious effort and intention, you can reshape your thought patterns, creating new pathways and fostering new ways of thinking. This is the power of neuroplasticity, the remarkable ability of your brain to rewire itself in response to new experiences. Whether you are learning a new skill, overcoming a challenge, or working to cultivate a positive mindset, you're engaging the very current of electricity that powers your brain. And with every step you take, you are reshaping that current, creating new pathways that lead to greater understanding, deeper connection, and richer experiences. In the end, the electricity of thought is not just the spark that powers your mind. It is the force that allows you to grow, to evolve, and to become the person you are meant to be. It is the invisible current that guides you through life, connecting you to your past, your present, and your future. It is a force that, when harnessed, holds the infinite potential to transform your life, to open new doors, and to unlock the deepest mysteries of your existence. And as you move through the world, you carry this current with you, a quiet, ever-present flow of energy that is always at work, shaping your thoughts, guiding your actions, and creating the reality you experience. If you step outside in the early morning light, you might notice something curious happening around you. The air feels still, the sun slowly rising, and the world seems to stretch and yawn with the promise of a new day. Yet among all this quiet movement, there is something else at play, something far less obvious but just as alive. The plants, in their own silent way, are keeping time. They are not bound by clocks or watches, but by the subtle, invisible rhythms of the world, rhythms that have shaped their lives for millions of years. Each leaf, each flower, each root knows the hours not by the ticking of hands on a clock, but by the movement of the sun, the tilt of the earth, and the quiet pulse of the seasons. In the life of a plant, time is not measured in seconds or minutes, but in the slow and steady progression of light and dark, warm and cold. The plants around you, though they seem to be still and silent, are deeply attuned to these rhythms, responding to every shift in the light, every change in the air. From the moment the first rays of sunlight reach the earth, the plants begin to wake, reaching their leaves toward the sky, soaking up the warmth and energy they need to grow, and as the sun sets, they begin to settle, drawing their energy inward, preparing for the cool quiet of the night. This silent clock, this awareness of time, is built into the very essence of plants. It is a part of their biology, their chemistry, and their survival. Over millions of years, plants have evolved to become finely tuned to the cycles of the earth, responding to the changing length of the days, the rising and falling of the sun, the shifting of the seasons. This is known as photoperiodism, and it is how plants sense and measure the passing of time. They can detect how long the day is, how much sunlight they are receiving, and they use this information to guide their growth, blooming, and even their sleep. Imagine for a moment the life of a plant as it grows through the seasons. In the spring, when the days grow longer and the warmth of the sun returns, the plant responds by stretching its leaves, reaching toward the light, absorbing every bit of energy it can find. As the summer arrives and the sun climbs higher in the sky, the plant continues to grow, flourishing under the long, warm days. But as autumn approaches and the days shorten, something else happens. The plant senses the change, and slowly its growth slows down. Its leaves may begin to change colour, and its flowers may fade, preparing for the colder days ahead. This is not just a passive response to the world. The plant is actively keeping track of the hours, knowing when it is time to grow, when to bloom, and when to rest. It has its own internal rhythm, a clock that works in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the earth. The plant's ability to count the hours is essential to its survival. It knows when to bloom in the spring to attract pollinators, when to drop its seeds in the fall, and when to lie dormant in the winter, waiting for the return of the light. This internal clock, though quiet and invisible, is the heartbeat of the plant's life, guiding it through each cycle of the year. This silent natural clock is something humans have long admired, yet often overlooked. While we rely on our watches and digital clocks to keep track of time, plants have long understood the true rhythm of the world. They measure time not by numbers, but by the ebb and flow of the seasons, by the changes in the length of the day, and by the subtle movements of the earth beneath their roots. For plants, time is not a rigid mechanical system, but a gentle, ever-changing rhythm that shapes their lives in profound ways. As we continue to explore how plants keep track of time, we begin to realize that their awareness of the hours is not limited to just the sunlight and the seasons. The light itself, the way it shifts, moves, and changes throughout the day, plays a crucial role in the plant's internal clock. This connection to light is deeper than we might think, and it's not simply about soaking up energy. The dance between sunlight and shadow is a ritual, one that the plant participates in with quiet grace. From the moment the sun rises, painting the world with soft golds and pinks, to the quiet dusk that slowly folds the world into darkness, the plant is aware, attuned to every change in light, every shift in the rhythm of the sky. Imagine this. In the early morning, as the sun's first light begins to filter through the trees, a leaf unfurls, stretching towards the warmth. The plant, knowing that the day has begun, opens itself up to the sky, reaching for the light that will fuel its growth. As the sun rises higher, the plant begins to absorb more energy, its leaves catching every ray of sunlight, turning them into the sustenance it needs to thrive. Throughout the day, the plant's growth is guided by the sun's movement, but it is not a frantic race for more. The plant's internal rhythm is perfectly aligned with the gradual arc of the sun, responding not in haste but in a calm, deliberate pattern. When the sun reaches its peak, the plant rests in the warm embrace of its rays. But as the light begins to shift, as the shadows of the afternoon stretch and grow longer, the plant begins to shift too. The energy it has gathered throughout the day starts to slow, and the once active leaves and stems begin to settle into a kind of restfulness. The plant, ever so attuned to the light, knows that the time has come to prepare for the night. As the sun dips lower, the plant's movement slows. The energy it has absorbed is stored within, ready to be used during the cool night hours. It is a process so gentle, so gradual, that it often goes unnoticed, yet it is vital to the plant's well-being. The rhythm of light and shadow is not simply about the day and night cycle. For plants, there is something deeply poetic about the way they embrace the changing angles of sunlight. It is as though the plant knows that each moment, each shifting pattern of light, holds a unique purpose. In fact, plants are not only responsive to the sunlight, but can actually track the movement of the sun across the sky. This behavior, known as heliotropism, is when plants turn their leaves toward the sun, following its path throughout the day, like a dancer moving with the rhythm of a song. The plant, aware of the sun's changing position, continuously adjusts its posture, always reaching, always moving, always finding the best angle to absorb energy. It's as though time for the plant is not a linear march from one moment to the next. Instead, it is a constant, ever-changing pattern of movement and rest, light and shadow growth and renewal. Each shift in the sunlight marks a new stage, a new rhythm in the plant's life. The way the plant follows the sun is a testament to its sensitivity to the flow of time, and in turn it shapes the plant's growth cycle, determining when it will bloom, when it will rest, and when it will release its seeds into the world. At night, when the world grows quieter and the last hints of sunlight fade from the sky, the plant settles into a peaceful stillness. The energy from the sun is stored within its cells, like a quiet promise to be awakened with the first rays of light the next morning. During this rest, the plant continues its slow, invisible work, breathing in the cool air and preparing for the new day. Even in the stillness of night, the plant's quiet awareness of the passage of time is active. The hours of darkness are not wasted. They are a time for reflection, a time for the plant to prepare for the return of the light, ready once again to follow the rhythm of the sky. This delicate dance of light and shadow, of rest and movement, mirrors the rhythms of our own lives. Just as the plant knows when to rest and when to grow, so too do we move through phases of activity and stillness, light and dark. The plant's quiet attention to time, to the hours, is not driven by urgency or fear, but by an innate trust in the natural rhythm that governs the world. It is a reminder that life's most important moments often occur not in the hustle of constant motion, but in the soft pause between movements, in the gentle quiet of waiting for the next cycle of light to begin. As we look closer at how plants measure time, we begin to notice that their awareness of the hours isn't just about light or the changing seasons. There is a deeper, quieter rhythm that plants follow, a cycle that is ingrained in their very cells, a natural pulse that guides them through their existence. This pulse, though invisible to the human eye, is just as real as the sunrise and sunset. It is the heartbeat of the plant, a rhythm that moves through every root, stem and leaf, guiding its growth, blooming and rest. This inner clock, deeply embedded within the plant, is not just about responding to external cues like sunlight. It is a timekeeper that guides the plant in its quiet rhythm of life, marking the hours without the need for a ticking watch. As the plant absorbs the energy of the sun, it is not simply growing in response to the light. It is following an innate rhythm that tells it when to stretch its leaves, when to conserve energy, and when to bloom. These rhythms are governed by the plant's internal biological processes, often referred to as circadian rhythms, the internal clocks that help all living organisms keep track of time. The plant's circadian rhythm, like ours, is guided by a 24-hour cycle, and it is this cycle that helps the plant keep track of the hours. Just as you may feel a natural dip in energy in the late afternoon, or experience a burst of energy in the early morning, the plant too feels this rhythm. Its cells, in their quiet way, respond to this internal clock, driving the plant to adjust its growth, its flowering, and even its sleep patterns according to the time of day. This rhythm is finely tuned to the natural world, keeping the plant in sync with the larger cycle of life, ensuring that it grows, blooms, and rests in harmony with the world around it. Even more fascinating is the way plants sense the passage of time in a way that we may not even be aware of. Plants have been shown to respond to subtle shifts in temperature, light, and even gravity. They can sense when it is time to grow, when to open their flowers to the bees, and when to slow down and prepare for rest. In this sense, the plant's ability to count the hours is not just about a direct measurement of time, but a delicate ongoing dance with the world, a dance that moves with the ebb and flow of the day, the seasons, and the years. Time for the plant is not simply something it passes through. It is something it interacts with, a rhythm it follows, a melody it listens to. This awareness of time, and so deeply embedded in the plant's nature, is a reminder that we too are part of this larger cyclical rhythm. The hours that tick by, the seasons that turn, the sun that rises and sets, all of these are in motion, constantly shifting, and we, like the plants, move with them. Just as the plant knows when it is time to bloom or rest, we too feel the rhythms of our own lives, guided by the quiet passage of time. Yet unlike the plants, we often forget to listen to these rhythms, caught in the rush of our daily lives, driven by clocks, deadlines, and the constant push of time forward. And yet, just as the plant's quiet attention to time is part of its survival, so too is our connection to the natural rhythms around us a part of our own well-being. The plant's ability to sense the world and move in sync with the hours of the day is a reminder to us to slow down, to be in tune with the natural world, to feel the subtle pulse of time as it moves through us and around us. In the stillness of the plant's life, there is a lesson for us. Time is not something to rush through or escape from, but something to be embraced, felt, and understood. As we stand among the trees, surrounded by the quiet hum of nature, we are reminded of the delicate, silent rhythm that moves through all living things. The plants, with their quiet awareness of the hours, teach us that time is not just something we measure, it is something we live with, something we move through, and something that shapes us. Just as the plant knows when it is time to grow, to rest, and to bloom, we too can learn to listen to the subtle rhythms of our own lives, moving with the flow of time, not against it. If you close your eyes and imagine a quiet river flowing through a forest, you can almost hear the soft murmur of the water as it passes over stones and under branches. Each drop, moving steadily along, is not just a part of the current. It carries with it a history, a quiet record of everything it has touched, everything it has encountered. In a way, the water is like a living memory, holding within it traces of the places it has been, the people it has met, and the changes it has witnessed. But this memory is not only a reflection of the present, it is also a reflection of the ancient past. Every drop of water, whether it's falling from the sky as rain or flowing in a river, carries within it the story of the earth itself. Water, in its timeless journey across the world, has always been part of the great cycle of life. It moves from place to place, from river to ocean, from the clouds to the ground. It touches every part of the earth, shaping landscapes, nourishing life, and leaving its mark on the world. But it's not just a physical process. Each drop as it moves carries with it information. The minerals it picks up, the soil it passes through, the air it collects, all of these things are recorded in the very molecules of the water, creating a memory that stretches back through time. Water, then, is a living record of the Earth's history, a quiet witness to the changes that have shaped the world we know today. Imagine for a moment the journey of a single drop of water. It begins high in the sky, drawn up by the warmth of the sun carried on the wind. As it travels, it absorbs the heat of the sun, the moisture of the air, and the essence of the atmosphere. When it falls back to Earth, it lands in a forest, in a field, or in a river. From there, it begins its journey once again, travelling through the soil, through the roots of trees, through the bodies of animals, through every part of the ecosystem. Each step of its journey is part of the story it holds, each place it passes through leaving a mark, shaping it, and adding to the memory it carries. But the memory of water is not only a record of the present or the past, it is also a key to the future. Water holds the stories of the Earth's changing climate, the rise and fall of civilizations, the shifting of landscapes, and the ebb and flow of life itself. As water moves through the world, it carries with it traces of all these changes, and in doing so it holds the answers to some of the Earth's greatest mysteries. By studying the water, its temperature, its composition, and its flow, we can unlock the secrets of the planet's past, its present, and its future. Even in the quiet stillness of a lake or the gentle flow of a stream, the water is never truly still. It is always moving, always carrying the stories of the Earth with it, always recording the moments that shape our world. And as it moves, it reminds us that time is not just something we experience in the present, but something that is stored in every corner of the Earth, in every drop of water, and in every life that has come before us. Just as the water moves through the world, so too do the memories of the earth move through us, carried in the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the very water that nourishes our bodies. This memory of water is not something we can easily see or touch, but it is there, in every drop, every current, every ocean. It is the silent record of the earth's history, a living, breathing memory that flows through the world, connecting all things, past, present, and future. It is a reminder that the world around us is not a collection of isolated moments, but part of an ongoing story, one that is constantly unfolding one drop at a time. As we journey deeper into the memory of water, we come to a place where time itself seems to stand still. High in the mountains, where the air is cold and the wind howls through the peaks, water begins to freeze. The water that once flowed freely, winding its way through rivers and streams, now becomes still, locked in ice and snow, frozen for months, sometimes for years. Yet even in its frozen state, the memory of water continues. In the ice we find a deep ancient record, one that holds stories of the Earth's past, stories of climates long gone, of eras when the world was very different from the one we know today. Imagine for a moment the ancient ice sheets that covered much of the planet thousands of years ago. The glaciers, slow-moving and vast, carried with them not just the water of the present, but also traces of the past. When the snow falls in the mountains, it does more than blanket the world in white. It gathers information, trapping tiny bubbles of air, particles of dust, and traces of chemicals from the atmosphere, each one a snapshot of the world at that very moment in time. As the snow compacts into ice, it forms layers, each layer a record of a different year, a different season, a different moment in history. These layers are like the pages of a book, each one telling a story, each one holding a piece of the Earth's memory. The process is slow, almost imperceptible. Over years, even centuries, the snow settles and hardens, trapping within it the stories of the Earth. As scientists drill deep into ice cores, they can extract these layers of frozen memory, each one revealing secrets about the climate of the past. The bubbles of air trapped in the ice give us a glimpse into the atmosphere from long ago. The chemicals that are found within the ice can tell us about the levels of carbon dioxide, the presence of pollutants, and the shifting patterns of weather. In this way, the ice becomes a time capsule, a record of the world's changing climate, and a silent witness to the rhythms of nature. But the memory of ice does not only lie in the stories it tells about the Earth's past. It also holds the potential for understanding our future. As the climate changes, as temperatures rise, the ice is melting, releasing the very water that has been locked away for so long. The glaciers, once vast and unyielding, are now retreating, slowly disappearing into the rivers and oceans. As the ice melts, it carries with it the memory of its ancient past, a record that is now becoming more accessible than ever before. This melting ice is both a warning and an opportunity, a chance to learn from the past and to understand the forces that shape our world. Water, whether it is flowing in a river or frozen in ice, is a witness to the passage of time. It carries with it the stories of the Earth's changing face, the rise and fall of civilizations, the shifting of continents, and the ever-changing nature of the climate. The memory of water is not only a record of what has happened, but a reminder of how interconnected everything is. Every drop, every glacier, every river, and every ocean is part of a larger, living history. And as the ice melts and the water flows, it connects the past with the present, guiding us toward a future shaped by the lessons we choose to learn. As the water that has been locked in ice begins to flow once more, it brings with it the memories of the world's past. It is a reminder that time is not just something that moves forward, but something that is always present, carried in the very water that shapes the earth. The memory of water is not just a record of what has come before, but a living, breathing force that moves with us through the world, connecting us to everything that has ever been and everything that will ever be. As we step back and take in the full scope of water's memory, we begin to understand that water is not just a passive element moving through the world. It is an active participant in the story of life itself, carrying with it the history of the earth and, in some ways, shaping its future. Water, in its many forms, liquid, solid, and vapor, flows through the world, carrying memories from one place to another, shaping the landscapes it touches and the lives that depend on it. The river, with its steady flow, becomes a metaphor for time itself. a constant, ever-changing stream that moves through all things, connecting past, present, and future. The river does not only carry water from one point to the next, it carries the stories of everything it touches. From the mountains it springs from, to the valleys and forests it nourishes, to the cities and people it feeds, the river holds a memory of all it has encountered. As the river moves, it shapes the land, carving through rock and soil, creating new paths, new features, and new ecosystems. But it also carries the memory of the land, the patterns of the weather, the history of the people and creatures that have lived along its banks. Each turn, each bend in the river holds a story, a quiet whisper of the past, a memory of what has been. Water's memory is not confined to the land, though. It stretches out into the oceans where it joins with the larger current of life, connecting all of Earth's waters in an endless cycle. The ocean, vast and deep, is a great collector of memories, storing in its depths the traces of every river, every lake, and every drop of rain that has ever fallen. The water that flows through the rivers eventually finds its way to the sea, where it is carried across the globe, moving in powerful currents circling the Earth in a continuous loop. And yet, even as it moves through these vast currents, the water retains its memory, the signature of every place it has been, every moment it has witnessed. In a way, this great river of time, this endless flow of water, is a reflection of the world itself. Just as water flows from one place to another, so too does time move through the world, shaping it, changing it, and leaving its mark. The memories of the earth, carried in every drop of water, are passed down through generations like a family heirloom, moving from one to the next, carrying with it the stories of everything that has ever lived. And as we move through our own lives, we too are a part of this river, caught in the current of time, shaped by the moments that have come before and shaping the moments that will come after. But the memory of water is not just a record of the past. It is a living force, one that has the power to shape the future. Water, as it moves through the world, carries with it the potential for renewal. It nourishes the land, bringing life to plants, animals, and people. It shapes the ecosystems that depend on it, creating the conditions for new life to grow. Just as the river brings the memories of the past with it, it also brings the possibility of the future, a future shaped by the choices we make today. The way we treat the water, the care we take in preserving it, the respect we show for its power and its role in the web of life will shape the world for generations to come. In this way, water's memory is not just a passive record of what has been. It is an active, living force that guides the world toward the future. It is a reminder that we are all part of this great flowing river of time, and that every action, every choice, leaves an imprint on the water, on the land, and on the world. As the river moves forward, it carries with it the legacy of the past, the potential of the future, and the quiet, steady current that connects all things. As you stand beside a river, watching the water move endlessly past you, remember that the water carries with it a memory, not just of the world as it is, but of the world as it has been and the world it will become. Time, like water, is constantly moving forward, shaping the world, nourishing it, and creating new life. The memory of water is not just a reflection of the past, but a guide for the future, a force that connects us all to the endless cycle of life, death, and renewal. If you were to stand in a quiet room taking a deep breath, you might feel your heart beating, the subtle rise and fall of your chest. But beneath this peaceful rhythm deep inside your body, there is a hidden force at work, one that powers every movement you make, every thought you have, and every sensation you feel. This force is the electricity inside you, the current that flows through your cells, carrying signals from your brain to the rest of your body, enabling you to move, to think, to breathe, and to experience the world. It is a quiet spark, one that often goes unnoticed, yet without it, life itself would not be possible. The electricity inside you is created by the movement of charged particles, called ions, across the membranes of your cells. These particles, tiny in size yet powerful in their effects, flow in and out of the cells, creating small electrical charges that allow your body to communicate. This electrical current is what powers everything from the beating of your heart to the firing of neurons in your brain, the very essence of life itself. Every thought you have, every word you speak, every movement you make is the result of this delicate flow of electricity. Imagine for a moment the journey of an electrical signal as it travels through your body. It begins in your brain, where neurons fire, sending electrical impulses down a long, twisting highway of nerves. These impulses are carried through your spinal cord, branching out to every part of your body like branches of a great tree. As the signals travel, they reach the muscles in your arms, legs, and face, telling them when to contract and when to relax. The electricity flows so rapidly, so seamlessly, that you rarely notice the intricate web of communication happening inside you. Yet, it is this very electricity that allows you to move, to speak, and to experience the world around you. But the electricity inside you is not just about movement. It is also about sensation and awareness. The very feeling of touch, the sensation of warmth or cold, the sharpness of pain and the softness of pleasure, all of these are carried to your brain by electrical signals. When you touch something hot, your skin's sensory cells send electrical impulses to your brain, telling it to pull away. When you feel the warmth of the sun, the sensation of heat is sent as a signal to your body's internal systems, reminding you to seek shelter or hydration. In every experience, the electricity inside you is there, silently guiding your body, giving you the awareness you need to respond to the world. The flow of electricity in your body is not limited to the brain and muscles. It is also at work in your heart, regulating its rhythm, ensuring that it beats steadily and in sync with the rest of your body. Every heartbeat is triggered by an electrical impulse, an electrical signal that begins in the heart's natural pacemaker, the sinoatrial node, and travels through the heart's chambers, causing the muscles to contract and pump blood throughout your body. Without this electrical rhythm, your heart would not beat, and without that heartbeat, life itself would cease. This electricity, though tiny in its individual charges, creates an immense network of communication, a system that connects every part of your body to every other part, ensuring that all the systems work in harmony. It is a delicate balance, a flow of energy that must be perfectly timed and perfectly tuned. If the electrical signals become disrupted, it can lead to problems. A delay in the transmission of these signals can cause muscles to twitch uncontrollably, or in some cases, cause the heart to beat irregularly. Disruption in the brain's electrical activity can lead to seizures, confusion, or losses of consciousness. This electricity, though vital and invisible, must flow without interruption in order for life to continue as we know it. The electricity inside you is both an essential and remarkable force. It is the very pulse of life, carrying information throughout your body, allowing you to move, think, and feel. It is the quiet current that powers every part of you, from the smallest fingertip to the largest organ. And, like the electricity that powers the world around us, the electricity inside you is an invisible yet powerful force, constantly moving, constantly communicating, constantly enabling life to unfold. As we continue to explore the electricity within you, we see that it's not just responsible for movement, sensation, or the heartbeat, but also for the most mysterious and profound part of your existence, thought. The electricity of the brain is what powers every idea, every memory, every decision you make. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting quietly, your eyes closed, just beginning to think. A thought begins to form, slowly at first, like a faint spark of light in a dark room. As that thought grows, it travels across the vast network of neurons in your brain, sparking further electrical impulses that connect one neuron to another, creating a path, a trail of electrical activity that leads to the creation of a fully formed idea. The brain is made up of billions of neurons, each one a tiny electrical conductor, constantly firing signals, sending information, and receiving messages. These neurons are like tiny bridges, connecting one part of your brain to another, allowing the flow of electrical impulses to create patterns, memories, and thoughts. As the electrical signals move through the brain, they form pathways that are shaped by your experiences, your learning, and your environment. The more often a pathway is used, the stronger it becomes, reinforcing the connections between neurons, strengthening the flow of electricity. It is through this ongoing electrical activity that the brain builds and refines your understanding of the world, creating an intricate network of knowledge, memories, and ideas. But thought, though it seems like a continuous process, is not always smooth. The flow of electrical signals in the brain is often interrupted, sometimes leading to moments of uncertainty or confusion. When a thought feels elusive or unclear, it is as though the electricity is not flowing as smoothly as it should. The electrical signals may be weaker, or perhaps they are not reaching the right part of the brain, creating a temporary gap in understanding. Yet just as a river finds its way through rocks and obstacles, so too does the electricity in your brain find new paths, forging new connections to overcome these interruptions and restore clarity. The brain's electrical activity is not random. It is guided by the intricate balance of neurotransmitters, the chemicals that help neurons communicate with one another. These neurotransmitters act like messengers, carrying the electrical signals from one neuron to another, ensuring that the flow of information remains constant, clear, and precise. When this balance is disrupted, whether by stress, illness, or injury, the flow of electricity in the brain can become disrupted, leading to cognitive issues, memory loss, or even changes in behavior. In a way, the electricity in your brain is like a finely tuned orchestra, each neuron and neurotransmitter playing its part in ensuring that the music of thought flows uninterrupted. As the electrical signals move through the brain, they not only create thoughts but also shape your emotions. The way you feel, whether joy, fear, anger, or love, is a direct result of the electrical impulses in your brain interacting with your body. Emotions are often the result of a chemical reaction triggered by electrical activity, influencing everything from your heart rate to your posture to your sense of self. For example, when you feel anxious, your brain releases certain chemicals that cause electrical signals to fire in a way that makes your heart race and your muscles tense. Conversely, when you feel calm and content, the electricity in your brain flows in a different way, promoting relaxation and a sense of peace.